01. At the center of the vast universe, there is a galaxy. There are millions of planets in the galaxy. Millions of planets revolve around the largest blue planet, as if there is a regular pattern. In this galaxy, there is a civilization whose technology has reached the pinnacle of the universe. All matter outside the galaxy is isolated by a layer of light and cannot approach the galaxy. All the stars have been revolving around this galaxy since ancient times. This is the Milky Way, the center of the universe. This is a galaxy created by the Galactic Empire civilization. The Galactic Empire civilization was established by the Emperor tens of millions of years ago. Millions of years ago, they had conquered all civilizations in the universe and developed technology to the extreme. The Galactic Empire has stood proudly here for 1,000 years. No one knows how powerful the technology of the Galactic Empire is. No one knows how powerful the Emperor, the leader of the Galactic Empire, is. But there is a saying that is spread among all civilizations in the universe: the Galactic Empire can easily return any civilization to the pastoral era. This is a dimensionality reduction attack from the most advanced civilization. The azure blue planet is the capital of the entire Galactic Empire civilization and the center of the universe. It is also the most technologically advanced planet in the Milky Way and has supreme power. Because this is the planet where the Emperor lives. The towering Silver Palace. This is the palace where the Emperor lives. At this moment in the Imperial Palace, white light particles slowly condensed and formed a figure on the golden throne. Your Majesty, you are back. A virtual projection appeared in the palace, and the female intelligent AI spoke respectfully. The handsome man slowly opened his eyes. Your Majesty, according to your instructions, more than 90% of the dimensions of this universe have been brought under the rule of the Empire. All dimensions, all galaxies, all planets have agreed to abide by the laws of the Empire. The remaining 10% choose to rule themselves. Yet. The man just responded with a word. His eyes seemed to contain stars in the sea, so deep that one could not see the bottom. Even an intelligent AI like Liuli, which can easily calculate how much qualitative change will occur if millions of galaxies explode, cannot fully understand the Emperor's thoughts. The Emperor is the most mysterious being in the universe. However, the next moment, the Emperor closed his eyes and said quietly, I didn't expect that in the blink of an eye, tens of millions of years have passed. Liuli didn't understand what this meant. It only knows that the Emperor appeared tens of millions of years ago. But no one knows how the Emperor appeared in this universe. Because the Emperor, the handsome man Qin Zheng, is not from this world. He is a time traveler. And it has traveled to this universe for tens of millions of years. Millions of years ago, Qin Zheng had just traveled to the blue star in a parallel universe and was connected to a super black technology system. Relying on the help of the system, Qin Zheng developed various super black technologies, led his country to crush other countries, and unified the blue star. And this is just the beginning. Afterwards, Qin Zheng developed more powerful technology, which increased his lifespan and improved his technology. Finally, Qin Zheng led mankind out of the blue planet and headed into the vast universe. After millions of years of development, Qin Zheng integrated and screened the original humans, and then established a new order. Galactic Empire. Centralized rule at the beginning, Qin Zheng also tried to let humans rule themselves, but history has proved that most humans are greedy and insatiable. They fought wars countless times and almost destroyed themselves several times. So Qin Zheng chose centralized management. He is the only ruler of the empire. Different regimes were established under the rule of Qin Zheng, but all regimes were absolutely controlled by Qin Zheng. The Galactic Empire is completely established. The technology Qin Zheng possesses is powerful enough to allow him to easily go back to the past and travel to the future. Even restarting the universe would be easy. As for that system, it had long been dissected by Qin Zheng and transformed into the intelligent AI, Liuli, which now controls the Galactic Empire. In the past, the system wanted to use Qin Zheng for development. When it wanted to dissect Qin Zheng took the lead and made it its own. Just a moment ago, Qin Zheng had just returned from experiencing life on the blue star tens of millions of years ago. He still misses the past sometimes. After all, it's really lonely after becoming invincible. Now the entire universe, all dimensions, from the invisible to the smallest molecules, are ruled by the Galactic Empire. Invincible, so lonely. Always find something to do. He even distributed some systems similar to his own, watched the development of ordinary people after they had the systems, and finally destroyed them. This is Qin Zheng's only hobby now, or rather, his only evil hobby. Ding. The universe network of the universes requests to connect with your universe. Do you agree? The universe network? The sudden sound made Qin Zheng raise his eyebrows slightly. Qin Zheng glanced at the virtual projection, and it was obvious that Liuli did not hear the voice. Ask him alone. Qin Zheng's eyes flickered, as if thousands of stars were flowing in them. As the Emperor of the Galactic Empire, Qin Zheng could easily trace the source of this voice. As long as it is in this universe. But after a moment, Qin Zheng retracted his gaze. Obviously, the source of this sound does not belong to this universe. The universe of the universe. The universe. Qin Zheng's eyes flickered slightly. He had just returned from the experience of Blue Star in the 21st century and had an impression of the heavens. All the worlds. Quite interesting. Qin Zheng immediately became interested. He could easily prevent the universe network from entering this universe, but Qin Zheng didn't. Instead, he agreed. Because Qin Zheng found something interesting again. Ding. The universe network of the universes has connected to your universe. Ding. You have become the highest level supreme administrator of this website. 02. Ding. The universe network of the universes has connected to your universe. Ding. You have become the highest level supreme administrator of this website. Interesting. Qin Zheng became interested. This universe network is quite interesting. Although this so-called management authority is not very tempting to Qin Zheng, who doesn't like to be licked. Entering the universe network of the universe, what appeared before Qin Zheng was a video website. And there are a variety of channels. Anime channel, martial arts channel, Xiangxia channel, Hongwang channel, technology channel, comics, there are hundreds of channels. At this moment, the page flickered and a golden font flashed. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. Qin Zheng raised his eyebrows slightly. Science fiction review? The most perverted science fiction civilization? Is this an evaluation based on strength? If it is a science fiction list, then is my own Galactic Empire civilization also one of them? Your Majesty, Li Yulai is unable to find the source of the sound. Li Yulai gently raised her hand, controlled the virtual world, and spoke. From the moment the mysterious sound appeared, it tried to capture the source of the sound. But Li Yulai discovered that even with its powerful computing power that could easily calculate when several galaxies would run out of resources and explode, it couldn't figure out the source of the sound. There are two possibilities. First, the other party's technology is stronger than yours and is ahead of you. Second, it proves that this sound does not belong to this universe, so its source cannot be traced. Your Majesty, according to statistics, 99% of the carbon-based and silicon-based creatures in this universe can receive the voice of the universe network and can enter the website. Li Yulai's statistical method is very simple. It sends information to the major galaxies under the rule of the Galactic Empire and then gets feedback from them. Big data statistics. It can count hundreds of galaxies and countless living and non-living things in an instant. This is the current dominance of the Galactic Empire. In this universe, every civilization and every race is subject to the Empire. Your Majesty, Li Yulai believes that the origin of the universal network of the universe is not simple. Should we initiate the plan to fight against the enemy? The Empire will enter a state of war preparedness. After Li Yulai's analysis, she spoke in an emotionless voice. Millions of years have passed since the founding of the Galactic Empire, and no civilization has ever been strong enough to put the Empire on a state of war readiness. It is often easy to crush them. Once a state of war is entered, it means that the resources of the entire universe will be tilted. Wage war with the power of the universe. This is the terrifying power of the Galactic Empire today. The power of the entire universe can be easily called upon. Creatures from all major galaxies and civilizations were all surprised and suspicious. They had never seen anything like it. The universe network? What are the 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations? What exactly is this? Just at this moment, the picture of the universe network of all heavens suddenly changed to projection mode, and a clear picture appeared. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. This list is produced by Zushan Universe Network. List requirements: civilization must have strong scientific and technological power and be related to technology. Note: the ranking list is updated once a month. Clear golden subtitles appeared in the blue projection video. There are words similar to barrage floating below the subtitles. Upon closer inspection, it was indeed a bullet screen. Barrages from all the universes and netizens in the universe. Wow! The new list is finally updated. It's been more than 3 weeks. Spider-Man Parker. Science fiction list? Finally there's something science fiction on the list. I thought everyone in the universe was practicing martial arts and cultivating immortality. Lu Paiqiang. Ha ha ha. Is practicing Wudang really bad? It's very good for strengthening the body. Wudang Zhang Sanfan. I still remember the list of Eastern mythology's combat power. Mythology Deluo is too abnormal. Even though I am on the technological side, why do I think that no matter how much technology develops, it can never surpass mythology? That's simply a nightmare. A nightmare that I can't imagine. Tony, the richest man. Technology has its own strengths. It is no less powerful than mythology. Rick Sanchez. Science fiction? Is this a new system? Indra. Technology is the derivative of weapons such as artillery and guns, but it is more powerful than these. Lelaj. Cannon? That's all. Indra. Cannon? Are you living in primitive times? You still use cannon? It's amazing. Rick Sanchez. Oh? Then what's so powerful about technology? No matter how powerful it is, it can't be stronger than the previous prehistoric combat power ranking, right? Not to mention the mythological prehistoric ranking. Emperor Shishan. I also think it makes sense. Hongwang is too strong. And the character on the top 10 fantasy combat power list is no worse than those on the Hongwang combat power list. Dongfang Bubai. Hongwang is stronger. Daipen. I think fantasy is stronger. The Ruthless Emperor and the Desolate Emperor are invincible. Don't argue, if you argue, you are right. Tang San. It starts again. Ever since the prehistoric combat power list and the fantasy combat power list appeared, why are you always arguing about the strength of combat power? Aren't you discussing science fiction combat power? I'm curious about what's so powerful about science fiction. Naruto who wants to become Hokage. I'm curious too. Please start updating the list soon. Red hair. Technology includes spaceships, nuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs, and all kinds of missiles. However, the top science fiction cannot be compared with primitive fiction and fantasy. Spider-Man Parker. It's not that there's no comparison, it's just that you are too stupid to develop your own brains. Rick Sanchez. Spider-Man Parker. Red hair. Indra. What an arrogant person. Too arrogant. But it also made the people of the universe curious, can science fiction really be compared with the top primitive combat power? Think about the top battle power list of fantasy. Emperor Huang Tian is the only one who can make decisions for eternity, and his thought is eternal. The most powerful person in the prehistoric world can easily create a world. Is this something science fiction can do? Under the curiosity and disdain of the universe. A list of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. The video list slowly began to play. 03. Under the gaze of audiences from all over the world, the video taking stock of science fiction civilization began to play. The contents of this inventory undoubtedly shocked the heavens. Because all the previous inventories were supernatural forces, not science fiction combat forces. And those lists also shocked the heavens. Such as Emperor Huang Tian, a Euro Emperor Yetian, a Euro and Emperor Ruthless in the fantasy battle power list. Several great saints on the prehistoric list, various innate treasures. And the even more terrifying myth Deloyle list shocked the heavens. Looking at the overall situation, only technology did not appear on the list. Many people are even wondering if the future of technology is not strong. Even people living in the technological universe have such thoughts. Technology may be very powerful in the early stages. After all, if we are ordinary people, we will rely on technology. But in the vast world, technology is really nothing. Even weapons like guns, missiles, and even nuclear bombs are not a threat in the prehistoric world. Marvel Universe. New York City is brightly lit. I'm so tired. On top of a tall building, Spider-Man, who is known as a superhero, took off his mask, revealing a young face, and gasped for breath. Parker, who had just dealt with a terrorist attack, was panting heavily. I don't know what's going on, but there are more and more weird people carrying out terrorist attacks in New York City recently. Just as Parker was about to take a break, a mechanical tentacle slowly stretched out from the bottom of the building and grabbed Peter Parker's back. Just then, Peter Parker's spider sense went wild. Parker's heart instantly rose to his throat, and just as the mechanical claw accelerated, Peter Parker rolled over and avoided the attack. In the dust, a blurry figure with 4 mechanical claws slowly stood up. Peter Parker. This weirdo is called Dr. Octopus, and his real name is Otto Gunther Octavius. He is Peter Parker's best friend. But he became bad after he was equipped with a mechanical arm. Peter Parker was fighting with Dr. Octopus before. Parker thought the doctor had been seriously injured and escaped, but he didn't expect him to attack again. Peter Parker was not sure that he could defeat the doctor, and he did not want to kill his friend, the doctor, he just wanted to stop him from doing bad things. Doctor, stop it. Peter Parker was about to say something when he suddenly heard a voice in his ear. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 10 Three-body civilization. Reason for being on the list: possessing powerful scientific and technological strength, cross-planetary strike capability, and cross-galaxy strike capability. Three-body civilization? Cross-galaxy strike. Hearing the sudden sound, the doctor who was about to attack Peter Parker stopped. This is the voice of the cosmic network of the universe. Anyone who has joined the website and has a mind can hear it. The doctor and Parker looked at each other and gave up the idea of a Euro fighting. They wanted to see how powerful the technology of the first sci-fi civilization on the list was. As scientists and doctors who develop technology, they hope that technology can be as good as fantasy, cultivation, and science fiction. After all, fantasy and science fiction are too far away for them. There is no place to practice Taoism if you want to. But technology is accessible to everyone. There is even hope for improvement. Super God Universe. Angel Nebula, City of Angels. In the magnificent Angel Palace, the angels are discussing the battle to defeat the devil. Queen Keisha, the wormhole bridge has been built. I am willing to lead my troops to the demon galaxy to defeat the demons. A beautiful angel wearing armor and with a cold face spoke. She is Angel Leng, an outstanding angel warrior who has the opportunity to become the left-wing guard of the Angel Queen. Queen. I am also willing to participate in this battle. Angel Yan asked. Although Yan has not yet become a left-wing guard, he is already an outstanding warrior among the younger generation of angel warriors. My queen. I am willing to join the battle too. Defeat the devil. Uphold justice. My queen, please let me join the battle. A group of angels asked for orders. In order to maintain justice and order, they are not afraid of fighting against demons, nor are they afraid of sacrifice. On the throne at this moment, Keisha was sitting on the throne with her long legs crossed, leaning lazily. Queen of Angels, Holy Keisha, the strongest being known in the universe. As her name suggests, Keisha is the strongest in the universe. No civilization can be a match for Keisha. So even though the enemy she is facing now is an equally powerful demon civilization in the universe, Keisha remains calm and doesn't even take this battle seriously. This is the state of mind of an absolutely strong person. However, even in Keisha's state of mind, she was also thinking at the moment. Does technology really have no future? After reading the Hong Wang combat power list, Xian Huang combat power list, fantasy combat power list and other lists previously released by the Universe Network, Keisha began to doubt whether technology can really catch up with these magical powers. As a civilization that develops technology, Keisha couldn't help but sigh. So much so that she had no interest in fighting this war. It turns out that in the universe outside the universe, there are so many magical and powerful forces. Keisha's concepts and perceptions were reshaped. So much so that she almost believed that the ultimate fear really existed. Before this, Keisha never believed in the theory of ultimate fear. She even fell out with her own sisters over this and fought for tens of thousands of years. At this moment, a voice sounded. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 10 Three-body civilization. Three-body civilization. The angels who were preparing to go into battle were slightly stunned, looked at each other, and finally all their eyes fell on Queen Keisha. Keisha's expression was also stunned for a moment. She was just thinking about the possibilities of technology. Future possibilities. I didn't expect the list to be updated. Seeing the cross-galaxy strike capability, Keisha also became extremely curious. It is definitely not easy to be on the ranking list of the Universe Network. With this in mind, Keisha temporarily put aside the order for war and looked at the video screen. In the picture, it is the three-body civilization. 04. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 10 Three-body civilization. Reason for being on the list: possessing powerful scientific and technological strength, cross-planetary strike capability, and cross-galaxy strike capability. The first time when the list is updated. The strong ones from the Super God Universe, Marvel Universe, Shrouding the Sky World, and even the Perfect World and the Primordial World all looked over. Regardless of what world the characters come from, they are all curious about what kind of civilization can emerge from the technology list. The so-called civilization list should be similar to the strong list, right? It's just that the name is different. And when I saw the name of the 10th place, the three-body civilization, audiences from all over the world reacted differently. Super God Universe. I wonder if our angel civilization can make the list. Of course we can. We are the most powerful civilization in the universe. The 10th place is not our angel civilization. The angels were talking among themselves. The angels' pride makes them believe that they will definitely make the list. After all, the angel civilization is absolutely the strongest civilization in this universe. Even Keisha thinks so. So when Kessa saw that the 10th place was not hers, but a civilization she had never heard of, she couldn't help but frown slightly. Angel Yan and Angel Lang looked at each other and felt a little curious about this Trisolaran civilization ranked 10th. Is the technological power of the Trisolarian civilization as strong as that of the angelic civilization? Intergalactic strike? Their angelic civilization also possesses the power of cross-galaxy strikes. Three-body world. Luo Ji, who had just become a wall facer, was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that the first person on the list would be Earth's impending enemy. The greatest threat to humanity, the Trisolaran civilization. Is the technology of the three-body really so terrifying? They are all on the list. You know, everyone on the first few lists is definitely a pervert. It's no problem to destroy a planet easily. Looking at the clear sky, Luo Ji suddenly felt the pressure doubled. The three-body civilization may be stronger than humans imagine. Galactic Empire Universe. What? The Galactic Empire isn't on the list. There's something wrong with this list. There's definitely something wrong with it. Not necessarily. Maybe the Galactic Empire is at the top. After all, it's only the 10th place. The people of the Galactic Empire were talking about it. With the strength of the Galactic Empire, it must be on the list. Your Majesty, Liulai has searched the universe and found about 1 million civilizations named Trisolaran. After screening, no Trisolaran civilization has technology that exceeds that of the Empire. Liulai's search speed is very fast, worthy of being a super-intelligent AI that can manage the entire Galactic Empire. Three-body civilization. Qin Zheng raised his eyebrows slightly and thought of the origin. Before traveling through time, Qin Zheng was a science fiction fan. He had read a book called The Three-Body Problem, which described such a civilization. Even when Qin Zheng first traveled through time, many of the technologies he developed were based on the three-body problem. Things like water drop detectors, dichroic foils, these have already been played out by the Galactic Empire. However, in the early days of time travel, these technologies were among the most advanced. Two-dimensional foil can easily achieve dimensionality reduction attack. Qin Zheng was also aroused. Although he knew that the technology of the Trisolarian civilization was like a child in front of the Empire, it was interesting to see the civilization in the book of the previous life appear. The universe is the same as what Qin Zheng understood. The heavens are constructed from any novels, animations, movies, etc. This aroused Qin Zheng's interest. Since conquering this universe, Qin Zheng has been as lonely as snow. Too strong, too invincible, to the point of being lonely. But now, the emergence of the universe has allowed him to see new fun. Set a small goal, the Galactic Empire, and step into the universe. Conquer the heavens and the worlds. A life with goals is indeed fulfilling. Same time. Video playback starts. Anyone who clicks on the video feels as if they are in the scene, as if they have entered a universe. This magical viewing experience instantly shocked many people. Although the previous lists were all equally immersive, every time it is viewed this way, it shocks the audience from all over the world. Buzz buzz buzz. The next moment, under the gaze of all the heavens and worlds, hundreds and thousands of huge space battleships appeared in front, traveling at the speed of light. Only with the effect of video, people can capture and even clearly see every piece of iron and every gun barrel of the battleship. The largest battleship is as big as a star, like a planet flying in the universe, which is shocking. Some people dodged subconsciously, and then realized that it was an illusion. Seeing this scene, the audiences in the heavens reacted differently. What is this? It can actually fly, Dongfang Bubai. Don't you recognize a space battleship? But the size of this battleship is so terrifying. Megatron. Battleship, is this the space battleship? Indra. Is this a battleship? FK. Are battleships so scary? Peter Parker. That's not a battleship, it's a star. No. More than one. Dr. Octopus. Wow. Is this the power of technology? Who else says that the power of technology is not good? Who else? Xiaodo. Xiaodo, what are you doing? Have you completed the work assigned to you? Bai Yukui. Wu Boss Bai, why are you here too? Right away. I'll do it after I finish watching this video. Xiaodo. Hey. He's just a little bigger in size, how can he compare to my son? My son Wangtang has the potential to be an emperor. Hey, you're bragging about your son again? Not to mention that your son is not the emperor yet. Even if he is the emperor, he can be easily killed in my Honghuang. Honghuang Daipen. My son has the blessing of heaven and will surely become an emperor in the future. Just relying on a little bird like you. Humph. You're looking for death. You can only be defeated by one blow from my son. My son Wangtang has the qualities to be an emperor. You. Good. Very good. Honghuang Daipen. Wangtang really has a good father who makes enemies everywhere. Red hair. As everyone was chatting, they started arguing. This kind of thing happens all the time. Because the power systems of all the heavens and worlds are not the same, fantasy looks down on the wild world, and the wild world also looks down on fantasy. Every time the battle power is mentioned, the two sides will definitely quarrel, and they can't wait to fight offline. Meanwhile, the video continues to play. The scene came to 3 strange planets. 05. At the same time, all the audiences in the heavens and the world were watching the start of this live broadcast. As the video plays, the audience's perspective shifts from the universe to the galaxy. In this galaxy, the audience only saw 3 stars hanging high in the sky. This is the planet where the Trisolaran Civilization lives. The place where they live is a combination of 3 stars. 3 stars? How is that possible? How can there be 3 stars together? Spider-Man Parker. If 3 stars were together, it would be a terrible thing. Dr. Octopus. Why? Yung Xiao. Because 3 stars together will cause a disaster. For example, extreme cold or extreme heat. There may even be more terrible disasters. Tony, the richest man. Although I don't understand what a star is, but as long as my cultivation is sufficient, can't I just create a barrier? Big Xiao. But this is a science fiction universe, and we don't have any cultivation skills. I also want to cultivate immortality, but there is no place to do it. JPG. Xiaodo. I forgot. Big Xiao. Haha. Why are you so cute? Empress. What is that? At the same time, the barrage was constantly refreshing. Looking at the video again, there is a towering mountain that seems to be falling on the ground in the distance. When the audience came to their senses, they found themselves in a wasteland. Where is this place? The audience was very confused. And at this moment, the sound of inventory suddenly rang out. 10 The Resurrector seeking a homeland, the 3-body civilization. As this voice sounded, the audience all suddenly understood. So, this place is the 3-body civilization? However, they could not see any human beings living on this huge planet. All they could see was a leather-like object on the ground that seemed to have been drained of all its moisture. It's like a completely dried fish. Covered with mountains and plains. What is this? At the same time, this doubt arose in the hearts of almost all viewers. What the hell is this? And just when the audience was a little confused, the omniscient and omnipotent voice of the heavens and myriad worlds sounded again. The 3-body civilization lives in 2 different eras. One of them is the Age of Chaos. The chaos element is actually the 3 stars of the 3-body civilization orbiting around the planet, causing the season changes of the 3-body civilization to be extremely chaotic. But when one star breaks away from the other stars and orbits around the 3 bodies, it would show the alternation of the sun and the moon, as well as the stable change of seasons, just like the Earth. This transformation is called the constant element by the 3 bodies. The stable era is suitable for the life and development of most organic creatures in the universe, while the chaotic era is characterized by constant disasters, changing seasons, and it is extremely easy for creatures to die while surviving. Therefore, once in the chaotic era, the 3-body creatures want to survive. Either freeze your body or extract all the water from your body and turn your skin into dry skin. Of course, they may also be decomposed and eaten by their own kind. At this moment, the audience finally reacted. The dry skin on the ground is actually all Trisolarans? But when the audience saw that much of the meat skin on the ground had been frozen into ice sculptures or had been eaten beyond recognition, they couldn't help but feel sad about the 3-body civilization. No wonder the title of the 3-body civilization is called The Resurrectors in Search of Home. In such an environment, can the 3-body civilization still survive? The audience didn't know. But the audience all felt unprecedented shock. This is a battle for survival faced by the entire three-body civilization. Perhaps they can also see a miracle, and see how the three-body civilization survived in this extremely harsh living environment and developed its own technology. Just at this moment, in the horizon, a ray of sunlight rises from the edge. At this moment, the audience was all surprised. The sun is rising. Does this mean that the Trisolaran civilization is about to enter a stable era? However, the audience didn't know that. For the three-body civilization, the end has just begun. The huge sun has risen from the horizon, and it seems that most of the sky is shining with dazzling light. The audience from all the heavens and worlds all saw the glorious sun, which was even covered with dazzling light. The sun seemed to occupy the sky above the entire world, as if it wanted to completely illuminate the entire world. At this moment, the audiences in all the heavens and worlds all thought, the warmth of the three-body civilization is coming. But the next moment, they were totally wrong. A feeling of extreme cold suddenly swept across the entire Trisolaran civilization, as if the Ice Age had arrived. Ice and snow covered the entire civilization, and endless coldness spread wantonly throughout the civilization. Wherever it passed, all living things were frozen. Moreover, the speed of this cold air's erosion was very fast. Almost in the blink of an eye, the whole world became frozen and all living things were frozen. And this was just the beginning. As the extreme cold frost spread, the entire planet instantly turned into an ice field, and the starry sky of the entire universe was covered with frost. The audience was stunned. Why would the appearance of the sun cause the entire Trisolaran civilization to be completely frozen? The sun is so bright that it almost lights up the whole world. At this time, the audience suddenly looked up at the sky. They realized it with great horror. There are 3 suns in the sky. 3 common stars appeared, causing the world to drop from extremely hot to extremely cold in an instant. The temperature began to drop suddenly, accompanied by extreme freezing cold. The entire three-body civilization was frozen. Then, the scene changed instantly. It seemed like it had come after a long, long time. The extreme cold in the world disappeared, and it once again entered eternal darkness. At this moment, the mysterious narration voice sounded again. The last extreme freezing weather lasted over 100,000 years ago. 100,000 years later, life appeared on this planet again. What the hell? At this moment, all the audiences in the heavens and the world were stunned. It took 100,000 years for new life to finally appear. What an amazing time span. But the audience remembered it completely. The disaster of the three-body civilization is just the beginning. Although the life of the three-body civilization has revived again. But the era of chaos has also arrived again. Heat, explosions, cold, constant chaos alternated between the planets of the three-body civilization, causing the entire civilization to once again experience infinite despair. The audiences from all over the world were no longer able to describe their shock in words. The disaster experienced by the three-body civilization is like hell. Just imagining it makes one shudder. With the last scene of the video, many viewers remain silent. Because at the end of the video, the 3 stars no longer orbit the planet of the Trisolaran civilization. Instead, it gradually approached the three-body civilization. In the end, the three-body civilization could not escape the fate of crashing into the sun. At this moment, the three-body civilization was completely exterminated. It seems like there is no hope of living anymore. Wow! Is this the video recorded from the beginning of the three-body civilization? Xiaodo. It should be the beginning introduction of the three-body civilization, but I am also very shocked. I didn't expect that there is such a world in the heavens and myriad worlds. It is really magical. Immortal cultivator Zhang Sanfan. Even cultivating immortals is possible, isn't this normal? Tony, the richest man. I want to know, which one is more powerful, the technology of the three-body civilization or the 10th place on the fantasy combat power list? War Maniac. Keep reading, and you'll know just how powerful the Trisolaran civilization's technology is. 06. Many civilizations in the heavens and the worlds were shocked by the planetary life of the three-body civilization. I didn't expect that life in the three-body civilization would be so miserable. And with such miserable lives, they can still be on the list? Why is that? Because the video starts from the beginning of the three-body civilization, all the audiences will continue watching. Especially those humans in the three-body universe. National leaders. Everyone was watching this scene. So, this is a creature from the Trisolaran civilization. Humans looked at the appearance of the Trisolarans in the video. It was the first time they saw the appearance of their enemy. It turns out that this is what the Trisolarans look like. Luoji frowned and became even more wary of the three-body civilization. And he had a bad feeling about this video. Describing the three-body problem as being so miserable, those human traders who were originally inclined towards the three-body problem would further publicize the three-body problem's pitiful aspects, thus causing humans to let down their guard. This is bad news for humanity. The great world of prehistoric times. Planets, technology, it's really a magical power system. Yes, technological civilization is something that our primitive world has never come into contact with. Sister, do you think our technological civilization is stronger, or that our cultivation is better? I don't know. 3 Immortals Island. 3 beautiful fairies are discussing the new list. These 3 fairies are the Sang Xiao, namely the eldest sister Yung Xiao, the second sister Kaiyang Xiao, and the third sister Big Xiao. Sang Xiao is a collective name, also known as the 3 Xiao fairies. They are just one of the few living beings in the ancient world. All the creatures in the ancient world were surprised by this new power system. Since the emergence of the cosmic web of the heavens, there have been great changes in the prehistoric world. There are more conflicts among the various races. They all want to improve their strength and get on the leaderboard. You can get rewards by being on the list. Even the saints were slightly shaken. Because above the saints, there is the mythical Delo. Mythology. It was a world that completely crushed the prehistoric world. In that world, even the golden immortal can crush the saint. When the mythical battle power list appeared that day, all the tribes in the prehistoric world were shocked for a long time. The saints' 3 views were even more overturned. I thought that once I reached the level of a saint, everyone below me would be ants. But after seeing the mythical combat power list, the saints no longer have such arrogance. Their self-esteem as saints has been completely shattered. More viewers in the world are still immersed in the aftermath of the video. Because the disaster experienced by the three-body civilization was too shocking. Hundreds of reincarnations and destruction. Even after struggling to the end, he could not escape complete destruction. Three-body civilization, very miserable. The humans in the three-body universe also understood why the three-body civilization would frantically invade other civilizations. Because they need a suitable planet to survive. The Earth is undoubtedly suitable. If they were the Trisolaran Civilization and experienced such a cruel disaster, they would definitely invade at all costs and look for a planet suitable for survival. Of course, I understand it, but if I am the one being hacked, that is absolutely unacceptable. There is no such thing as good or evil in the universe. The world is not black and white. All living things are just trying to survive. Reunite the universe. Tony Stark drank several glasses of whiskey before he suppressed the shock in his heart. The technology of the Trisolaran civilization is truly powerful. Tony Stark couldn't help but marvel. He has always believed that technology is no worse than cultivating immortals. Even if I don't have such powerful technological power now, the future of technology will definitely not be bad. It was not until the Trisolaran civilization was included in the list that the star-like cosmic battleships appeared. Although we didn't see the three-body battleship attack, the size of it alone was definitely not something that ordinary cultivators could shake. Of course, if it is the saints on the prehistoric list and the emperors on the fantasy list, it will definitely not work. Their power is so terrifying that it can no longer be measured by the technology of ordinary civilizations. Maybe if I move up a few spots on the science fiction list, I might have a chance to catch up with the saint? Of course, in addition to the saints, there is also a mythical combat power list. The strong ones on that list have completely transcended everything. The saints of the ancient times and the emperors of the fantasy world often compete with each other in combat power, and the audiences from all over the world often quarrel over who is stronger, the fantasy world or the ancient times. But no one has ever compared them using the mythological combat power list. The mythology battle power list is currently recognized as the absolute strongest list in all the heavens and worlds. Those who can make it into the top 10 are definitely undisputed strong ones. Three-body universe. The creatures of the three-body civilization looked at each other in bewilderment. They also didn't expect that their civilization could be on the list. Surprise? Accident? Both. But it's more of a bad feeling. Because this list is published in all the heavens and worlds. In other words, even in the universe where the three-body civilization exists, all civilizations can also receive it. There are advantages and disadvantages to being on the list. The bad thing is, they are exposed. The law of survival in the universe is called the Dark Forest Law. Once a civilization is exposed, it will definitely suffer attacks from higher civilizations. This video in particular was recorded starting from the mother galaxy of the three-body civilization. Coordinates, galaxies, all exposed. What kind of disaster will the Trisolaran galaxy face next? The head of the three-body civilization stood on top of a high-rise mechanical building, looking at the two strange stars in the sky. The three-body galaxy has been exposed. They have to go. If you want to survive, you have to leave your home planet. Military Archon, mobilize all warships immediately and prepare them at light speed. The head of state immediately gave orders to the consul. The entire three-body civilization took action. At the same time, in the video, the images of the three-body civilization continue to advance. What appeared this time was the technology of the three-body civilization. A technology that astonishes many civilizations in the universe. 07. Video advancement. The scene comes many years later. It has been a long time since the development of the three-body civilization. Finally, they went from being unable to resist disasters at the beginning to experiencing a technological explosion. The Trisolaran technology exploded. They built space battleships. Created cutting-edge technological weapons that far surpass nuclear bombs. It even received a signal from a blue planet in the universe. Seeing this, the humans in the three-body universe looked at each other in bewilderment. Isn't this blue planet the Earth? And it is the Earth in their universe. In other words, it was because of this information from the Earth that the coordinates of the human planet were exposed and the three-body civilization targeted them. At the same time, the Trisolaran monitor in the video, after receiving the message, when he learned that the Earth was such a beautiful place, he did not want the beautiful Earth to encounter war. So he replied to the Earth's message. A heavy voice of narration sounded. Monitor number 1379 of the three-body world is a peace-loving person. So, he sent a message back to the Earth. Don't reply. Don't reply. Don't reply. However, the humans on Earth did not understand the meaning of this sentence, and the information was still captured by the three-body civilization. End of narration. In the video, the peace-loving Trisolaran monitor was captured by the Trisolarans and exiled. The coordinates of the Earth were also captured by the Trisolaran Civilization. The three bodies have set their sights on Earth. Seeing this, the humans in the three-body universe felt cold all over. It turned out that their coordinates were exposed because they sent random signals. It turns out that there are peace lovers among the three-body. If only we humans hadn't replied to the message at that time. Wall Facer Luoji. You humans? What do you mean? Xiaodo. We are the Earth civilization in the same universe as the three-body civilization. We are the human civilization that has sent out information, has its coordinates locked by the three-body civilization, and is about to invade. Luoji. Perhaps in the universe, we are just an ordinary human civilization. Luoji. What a coincidence. Spider-Man Parker. The weak perish and the strong survive. This is the rule of survival in the universe. Thanos. I don't think the weak should be destroyed, but don't they have the right to live, the kind god of death. From ancient times to the present, only the fittest survive. Indra. The three-body group wants to invade human civilization? It seems that they are just trying to survive. Megatron. At Luoji, waiting online, who is stronger, the three-body or humans? Lilith. It must be the Trisolaran civilization. After all, the Trisolaran civilization is already on the list, and human civilization is just the invader. Won't you find out if you keep reading? The video continues to play. A lot of time has passed since the peace-seeking Trisolaran monitor was exiled. Before we knew it, 85,000 Trisolaran hours had passed. Since the three-body civilization noticed the location and geographical markers of Earth civilization, at this moment, the three-body civilization was preparing to hold an emergency meeting concerning all three bodies. In fact, the fleet of the Trisolaran civilization had already set sail 20,000 Trisolaran hours ago. However, during the search process, the three-body civilization was simply unable to find the Earth civilization. They can only know the direction of the Earth from the messages they receive. But what about the distance to Earth? It could be 10 million light-years away, but who can say for sure? In short, in this vast journey across the galaxy, the three-body civilization can find a good environment to survive. The three-body civilization has paid a lot. At this time, the scene changed. The video moves forward, and at this moment, the video content comes to the interior of the Trisolaran planet. The audience could all see that the age of chaos had not ended at this time. The sun is still hanging high in the sky. It seemed like the cold and extreme heat could come quickly at any time. So much so that the Trisolarans attending the meeting had to wear protective clothing to prevent cold and heat. At this time, the meeting of the three-body civilization was taking place under a huge metal pendulum. The huge pendulum kept swinging, hitting the cold air. Under everyone's attention, the head of the three-body civilization walked to the front of the huge pendulum. He flipped a red switch on the pendulum, and then the huge pendulum slowly stopped. Just now, the Trisolaran leader turned off the power of this huge pendulum. Although the other Archons were curious and asked the three-body leader questions, the three-body leader just gave a simple explanation. We all know that the historical meaning of the pendulum is to hypnotize God. And now, we no longer need to hypnotize him. An awake God is more beneficial to the three-body civilization. Now, God is blessing us. As the Fa 1/4 Frere said. A big part of the reason why the three-body civilization created this pendulum was for the purpose of praying. In order to pray that their civilization would no longer suffer from the ravages of high temperatures and severe cold, and in order for the three-body civilization to survive normally. And now, they no longer need the hypnosis of a giant pendulum. The response letter from Earth made all the residents of the Trisolaran civilization excited. Half a Trisolaran hour ago, the Trisolaran civilization received a message from Earth, which was a reply to the Trisolaran civilization's warning message. So much so that the three-body civilization directly locked onto the exact location of the Earth. The Archons of the three-body civilization quickly noticed why the Fa 1/4 Frere did this. Because the location of the Earth has been completely exposed, in the eyes of the three-body civilization, God is indeed blessing them. It's only been more than 80,000 Trisolaran hours since the warning message was sent. This means... An Archon shouted in ecstasy. Most of the civilized audiences in the heavens and the worlds also reacted at this moment. And the Fa 1/4 Frere nodded. This accurately stated something that is worth celebrating in the three-body civilization. That's right. Earth civilization is only 40,000 light-hours away from our Trisolaran civilization. That is to say, Earth civilization is near the star closest to us. At this time, all the Archons of the three-body civilization were ecstatic. They finally understood why the Fa 1/4 Frere said that. God is indeed blessing them at this moment. But although they were surprised, most of the Trisolaran Archons did not show it so obviously. Because letting this emotion out is actually harmful. So the head of state calmly poured a bucket of cold water on the consoles. He told everyone that, in fact, at the current speed of the three-body civilization, it might take hundreds of years to reach that star. But the history of the development of Earth civilization is really too shocking. After learning about the development history of Earth civilization, the Archons of the three-body civilization all realized it. The civilization of the Earth is not something that can be invaded by bugs at will. Because it has only taken human beings on Earth tens of thousands of years to develop to this day. During this time, they spent more than 90% of their time moving from the primitive hunting age to the agricultural age. What kind of concept is this? It took only a few thousand years for Earth civilization to move from the agricultural age to the industrial age. What is even more shocking is that they eventually researched atoms and used them to create amazing atomic weapons. This process took less than 100 years. At present, the Earth civilization has developed into the information age. And, it only took a few decades. This was not just a shock to the Trisolaran Civilization. In the eyes of the audience from all over the world, this speed of development is also shocking. How did Earth civilization develop so rapidly? The few civilizations on Earth are even proud of this. After learning all this, the three-body civilization quickly calmed down. Because through the history of civilization on Earth, they discovered. This civilization has a terrifying ability to accelerate evolution. However, among the three-body civilizations, including the more than 200 three-body civilizations, no civilization has ever experienced such an astonishing speed of development. The science of the three-body civilization is slow and steady. Even their technological progress may slow down. The three-body civilization realized that they understood simply by comparing the speeds. If Earth civilization continues to develop at this speed, I'm afraid, before the three-body civilization reaches the Earth, the technology of the Earth has completely crushed the Trisolaran civilization. So, if this problem is not solved, our interstellar journey this time is tantamount to sending ourselves to our deaths. The scene suddenly fell silent. But this silence is just the beginning. After the head of state finished speaking, the scientific archon also raised his hand and suddenly spoke. If that's the case, Fa 1/4 rare, there are actually even more terrible things happening. 08. In the video, the military commander-in-chief spoke slowly. If our fleet reaches Earth, its civilization may have already surpassed our technology. The Earth is developing too fast, and our position has been exposed. In order to eliminate future threats, the Earth may attack us in advance. The military commander's tone became a little low. Perhaps, before the sun expands, we may be destroyed by Earth civilization. The bright future turned so dim that the meeting hall was silent for a long time. All the Trisolarans were silent. Can human civilization develop so fast? Optimus Prime. Yes, they were able to catch up with the technology of the three-body civilization in such a short time. This race really has terrifying potential for development. The King of Fallen Angels. I believe that humans have always had potential because they have emotions. Kikyo. Any living thing should have emotions, right? Like us. We always think that any race other than us intelligent robots has no emotions. Intelligent robot civilization. Ditto. Leader of the plant civilization. I am a little confused. Since human civilization has developed and its technology can surpass that of the Trisolaran civilization, why are humans still afraid of the Trisolaran civilization? Megatron. Confused +1. When everyone saw this video, they were all confused. The most important thing is that the combat effectiveness of a civilization is linked to technology. It is now obvious that human civilization is capable of surpassing the Trisolaran civilization. How could the three-body civilization possibly defeat humanity? What has human civilization experienced in the course of time and civilization development? What did the three-body civilization do? Amid people's endless curiosity, the video continues. That solemn voice came again. Originally, human civilization had a promising future. As long as it had 1 or 2,000 years, it could have completely defeated the three-body civilization. Unfortunately, the three-body civilization had foresight and came up with a brilliant idea to suppress human development, and even strangled the high-tech that had just begun in the human race in the cradle. Killing, technology. When hearing this, many civilizations in the heavens felt that this statement was obscure and difficult to understand. After all, this is the first time that these two words have been seen combined together. How can technology be killed? What did the three-body civilization do? Although for many high-tech civilizations, destroying a planet or even wiping out a civilization is just a matter of a breath. But they are also curious about this new word and information. At this time, the leader of the three-body system also felt proud that he could shock other civilizations in the universe. Don't worry, everyone. It's actually not that difficult to curb the research and development of Earth science. It can even be said to be very easy. All we need is to make a careful plan in advance. Also, to plant a spy among the humans on Earth. People were still confused at first, but when the three-body leader said this, everyone suddenly understood. It turns out that all this is so simple compared to the complicated process they imagined. However, they also understand that this is just what the leader said, but the specific operation process may not be the case. And when he saw that they were very interested, the three-body leader also explained patiently. Everyone, in the final analysis, it is because the current technology on Earth is underdeveloped. As long as we show those humans a scientific path that they may have never imagined, or the future of their own civilization, these people will naturally be deeply shocked and feel their own powerlessness. And when these weak-willed people are outstanding talents among humans, it becomes easy to disintegrate humanity from within. The head of state's words shocked many people in the conference room. They thought the Fa 1/4 Rare's ideas were crazy and beyond their comprehension. At the same time, the head of state also played a holographic projection of the Earth in the center of the table in the conference room. Under the gaze of everyone, this blue planet made of water appears to be full of vitality and vigor. Look, what a beautiful planet this is. It's a pity that it will be destroyed by us soon. But at the same time, the researchers standing by couldn't help but remind him. But, Chief, if we want to deliver the message and get a response from Earth, it will take at least 80,000 light years. By that time, at least several hundred years will have passed on Earth. That doesn't matter. As long as we control this control key and the key Earth scientific research, even if the role of those traders is not particularly large and can only play a certain role of interference, it can be considered a success. They are just pawns we use. Since they are not of our kind, there is no need to sympathize with them. If we want to wipe them out, we can wipe them out. For a moment, the audience was shocked by the Fa 1/4 Rare's sinisterness and indifference. But everyone also understands that for a civilization that is either destroyed by its opponent or destroys its opponent, the three-body civilization has no choice. What's more, there are prophecies on the website. In this universe, there is no excessive sympathy or sainthood. Only killing and the contest of strength are the key to whether a civilization can survive. At this time, new text also appeared on the screen. First action plan, codename, aversion assimilation. The three-body civilization was the first to use the side effects of technology and its destruction of nature to catalyze this idea in the minds of humans, in order to achieve the goal of even stopping technology and suppressing its development. Even more than 35% of the people in the Earth's civilization have developed a dislike for technology and are overly yearning for nature and purity. Second strategy, codename, miracle. Using the highest field that the known technology of Earth civilization can research, we will create a false universe, so as to mislead humans and make them research in the wrong direction, going in the opposite direction. Through miracles, let the 35% of people think that it was a miracle and a command from God, so as to better strengthen the first strategy. This will lead to a civil war on Earth over whether to develop science, leaving no time to consider the invasion and threats of other civilizations. Seeing this, many viewers in the world couldn't help but spit. You are so shameless and despicable. What's the use of such a civilization even if it is powerful? The guy above, don't say the grapes are sour because you can't eat them. If you were in my shoes, and you could expand your own civilization, wouldn't you be willing to become a great man of your own civilization? Why would you sympathize with a weak civilization that has nothing to do with you? Watching people arguing fiercely. The three-body leader didn't feel strange either. The website just gives out new information coldly, like a bystander outside the universe. Although these two action plans are very useful, the Trisolaran civilization still needs weapons to completely destroy the confidence of Earth civilization and make them completely desperate. This idea is not surprising, instead, it shows that the three-body civilization intends to be absolutely sure. They also know, through the comprehensive development and understanding of science and technology, that the foundation of science is based on Earth resources and original scientific and technological data. Only if these fundamental things are destroyed, the Earth's technology will be unable to develop, let alone make major breakthroughs. But at the same time, all civilizations in the heavens and worlds became more curious. What means will the three-body civilization take to achieve its fundamental goal? For a while, the barrage on the website scrolled wildly. What kind of vicious plan is this to completely block the technology of human civilization on Earth? Dr. Octopus. I'm also curious, what kind of technology can do this? This is simply a crushing victory of technology. Tony, the richest man. Technology is such a weird thing. Invincible Easterner. Well, it doesn't look strong, but it's very magical. Hongwang Dragon. Many technological tests of civilization are being considered. And more of them just looked at it curiously. The video continues to play. 09. With the continuous development of science and technology of the Trisolaran civilization, they have already found a way to deal with the Earth in the past 100 years. This project, which damages the vitality of the Earth and completely destroys Earth science, is called the Proton Project by the Trisolarans. As the video continued to play, the Trisolaran leader was proud of the highest technology of his own civilization. He raised one hand as if pointing out the way forward. Look in the direction of his finger. It was a halo in midair, shining with a strange luster in space. It seems as holy as the halo of an angel, but it inexplicably gives people a sense of unease. But if you look closely, you will find that it is not a halo or miracle. It is basically a super large-scale particle accelerator in operation. At this moment, the three-body civilization is repairing and further transforming it, and it hasn't even been completed yet. Thousands and tens of thousands of engineers were mobilized at the same time, and the scene was truly spectacular. It was as if they were going to use all the resources of their own civilization to defeat the enemy of civilization, the Proton Project. That's the prototype of proton engineering. I don't understand it, but I'm shocked. This is simply amazing. For a moment, the audience on the website were stunned. Among the people of the three-body civilization, there are also quite a few who know nothing about this plan. They didn't know that their civilization was creating the nightmare of another civilization. At the same time, it is also rewriting the fate of its own civilization, which is about to be destroyed. At the same time, the three-body leader also said to the Archon, "You should sort out all the plans related to this thing and explain it to people in general, so as to avoid unnecessary panic." Yes. For a moment, almost everyone in the entire Trisolaran civilization was listening attentively. In short, this is an unprecedented super-intelligent computer created using the principles of physics. The chief scientist said, clearing his throat. This computer is mainly used to interfere with the Earth, affect the development of Earth's future parallel time and space, and research and development of science and technology. However, these words made the audience from all over the world feel that this was simply a fantasy. Protons are very subtle in themselves. At least with our power comparable to that of Earth, we cannot study them thoroughly. But now, this person actually said that he wants to study this thing thoroughly. This is simply unbelievable. I don't think the existing civilization can achieve this level. However, the chief scientist did not feel strange about their surprise and confusion. Instead, he said it calmly. "Everyone, I know you must think this is incredible, even impossible. This is just a fantasy of researchers. But in our Trisolaran civilization, all scientists have been risking everything in the past 100 years to study this technology and have turned it into reality. I also believe that everyone knows that the proton itself is an abstract concept in three-dimensional space, and it is almost impossible to apply it to scientific instruments. But now, we have done it. However, people still refuse to believe this nonsense. As we all know, if we want to transform a two-dimensional proton into three-dimensional energy, we need to turn a proton into a plane and make it two-dimensional. So some people asked questions about this. Since you said you succeeded, you should know how big the area is when the nine-dimensional structure is expanded into 2 dimensions, right? The chief scientist knew that this group of people were just not convinced and did not want to believe what he said, so they were deliberately digging into the issue. This is jealousy from lower dimensions and ordinary civilizations. He didn't feel anything at all, but calmly explained, "Don't worry, you will soon see the process of this dimension unfolding with your own eyes. After all, seeing is believing. You may not believe me even if I tell you, so why not let you witness it in person?" Hearing this, the curiosity of all civilizations was aroused even more. For a moment, the website's barrage scrolled wildly. 9 dimensions expanded into 2 dimensions, the three-body civilization is really bold in thinking. Tony, the richest man. The three bodies technology is so advanced. Xiaodo. Is this considered strong? Not even close to my grandpa. Morty. Your grandpa? Who is that? Is he very powerful? Xiaodo. My grandpa is the smartest scientist in the universe. Morty. The smartest? Haha, that's not necessarily true. Tony, the richest man. You want to compete with my grandpa? Morty. Oh? If you have the guts, get your grandpa on the list. Tony, the richest man. +1 if technology is really good, then he should be on the list. The civilizations were talking about it. You know, so far, the technological engineering demonstrated by the three-body civilization has been enough to shock many people. Especially the 2 previous planning strategies, which hit the nail on the head and caused countless civilizations to applaud. Although to those more advanced civilizations, they just smiled and said nothing. But for a civilization that is not much different from the three-body or even human civilization, this is shocking. And then, they even demonstrated the expansion of the proton, which made those civilizations of similar level feel terrified in the unfathomable depth of the universe. At the same time, as the images continue to play, the video continues to introduce the technological progress of the three-body civilization. Amid the expectant gazes of countless audiences, that deep voice rang out again. In the 50,000 hours after the scene, the engineering of the Trisolaran civilization continued to improve. Finally, the giant accelerator was built, and the three-body civilization also began to operate this machine synchronously on the star orbit of the three-body system. For a moment, the Trisolarans in the picture looked up at the sky, or looked at the nearest live broadcast screen. Watching the huge holy halo begin to operate, it was like the coronation of a new king, foreshadowing that in the silent game with humans, the three-body world was about to win a great victory. At this time, the head of the Trisolaran world and other important figures stopped under the monument in the center of the Trisolaran world, looking up at the huge holographic projection screen. As the chief scientist spoke, the command for two-dimensional expansion was issued, and the huge acceleration device began to operate. However, after a dark red light, the acceleration device stopped responding and the entire place fell into dead silence. The agitated onlookers were also puzzled. What's going on? Did it fail? I waited for a long time, and this is the result. At the same time, when you see that the circle in the picture is just a bluff, there is no more sound. The civilizations in the universe are equally curious. Did the plan fail? Angel Yan. Since the three-body civilization is on the list, it shouldn't be that weak. Spider-Man Parker a Euro black pupil. Technology is just average, far inferior to cultivation. Emperor Shishan. I think so too. Emperor Wu. The video was played again amidst the doubts and disbelief of the people in the heavens and the world. Although the ring had no reaction for the time being, during the subsequent scientific research, breakthroughs were made. After everyone stood there for half an hour, the device finally showed some progress. However, this can also be said to be just an accident for a moment. Some viewers didn't want to watch anymore. After all this time, it turned out to be an accident. Scientific research requires rigor, but you tell me that the development of this civilization depends on accidents. Let's disperse. This is disrespectful to scientific data and not rigorous. The Trisolaran civilization is nothing more than that. But, in the next second, the chief scientist said with a smile. Everyone, we did not fail, nor did we encounter an accident. On the contrary, we succeeded. When I saw that he was hanging in the air with a silk thread tightly grasped in his hand. The audience also narrowed their eyes. When he looked closely, Luoji's eyes widened. Is that a line? Yes, this is exactly the thread obtained by stretching a proton. As soon as this was said, the comments went viral again. You, the Trisolaran civilization, went to so much trouble and spent tens of thousands of hours, and in the end, you only got a piece of wool. This is really a woolen yarn. However, although some people are disdainful, but anyone with a discerning eye can tell that this thread is definitely not ordinary, nor is it as simple as ordinary wool. Being able to discover new things, create and even understand the unknown universe is an eternal topic for scientists, so at this time, many people still remain optimistic. After all, if the three-body civilization's project is truly successful, it will be an amazing discovery that will shock the universe. However, there are also civilizations that believe that the three-body civilization is clearly very weak and is just bluffing. After all, it would take them a long time to deal with an ordinary civilization like the Earth. Not to mention dealing with other more powerful and unfathomable civilizations. Just when people were disappointed and ready to disperse, the chief smiled. Don't be impatient, the best is yet to come. 010. As we all know, protons unfold in synchronous orbit. It will move according to its own original force field and gravitational trajectory. But the people of the three-body civilization never imagined it. The huge resistance generated by the solar storm causes the trajectory of protons to shift. This caused some proton energy bodies to exceed the expectations of the Trisolarans, and they were forced to change their trajectories and fall into the planet. 5 hours later, relative to the human world, people outside were surprised to find out. There seemed to be some strange luster reflected on the ground. The glossy hair fell on the ground, and disappeared in an instant like the reflection of ripples on the water. However, due to their advanced technological civilization, even ordinary people can quickly recognize it. This is the result of the proton energy wave being spread out into a plane and onto the ground. Even if you touch it with your body, you won't feel anything. This scene left many viewers stunned. This is the first time I've seen a substance with a non-atomic structure. Is this a small part of a proton? How wonderful! What the hell is this? It makes me sick just looking at it. The leader wiped his face with disgust. At this moment, he was standing in front of the municipal building with a group of top scientific researchers. Perhaps it was a psychological suggestion, he always felt a subtle itching sensation when these lines fell on his face. He didn't know that this was not his illusion. Because the weight of all the threads together is equal to one proton. Since part of a proton is also a physical entity, it is natural that it has a sense of touch. However, this weak energy wave passes through the human body just like sunlight passes through the human body, which is harmless and some of it may even be reflected. At the same time, a deep voice sounded from the video. Although the Trisolarans have rigorous technology, the experiment was difficult and the solar storm was uncontrollable, so an accident still occurred. The scene changed to the three-body planet. In the sky, countless one-dimensional proton energies like threads are becoming increasingly dense like a meteor shower, except that they do not have the huge energy and gravity of a falling meteor. Under the sunlight, the threads of light on the ground became stronger and stronger, even making the ground reflect light. All nearby celestial bodies, including stars and planets, seemed to be covered by a circle of light white down. The Trisolarans who walked out of the room were wrapped in a silk-like energy wave, with a long streak of light trailing under their feet. Even when people go back indoors, the light does not fade away. It can even disturb the air as it moves, and even distort the lights in the room. This scene is incredible to watch. It also makes many people involved feel uneasy and unable to understand what it is. What surprised the audience even more was, how long does this rainstorm last? If I remember correctly, according to human time, 20 hours have passed, but the rain hasn't stopped yet. Yes, this thread seems to have vitality, giving people a dreamy feeling. However, the audience did not know that during this period of time, these proton energy threads had undergone tremendous changes. Their energy continued to dissipate, their strength continued to weaken, and finally as the energy disappeared, only a very small amount of debris remained. Like ice melting in the sun. At this time, new text also appeared on the screen. This phenomenon is actually quite common in the three-body world. Often within 60 hours after a meteor shower occurs, protons will undergo another change, undergoing further fission and expansion. This phenomenon is called energy volume expansion. As the screen changes, the audience sees. When the radiator indicator light of the nuclear power plant emits red light and sirens sound. Several indescribable behemoths appeared on the acceleration track. It's like a miniature version of the planet. Some surfaces are entirely glaciers or deserts, while others are unevenly distributed with green vegetation and water. They all move in a trajectory, as if they came from another miniature dimension, like living miniature planet models. People also noticed that the surface of the planet was also reflecting countless proton energy threads, which looked almost the same as the previous three-body civilization. Does this mean that these civilizations are similar to the Trisolaran Civilization? Are these similar to the Trisolaran Civilization, miniature planets that will receive this kind of proton expansion? For a while, people were talking about it. At the same time, in the Institute of Human Civilization, the leader also walked into the laboratory and asked the chief commander of the scientific team, are there any results from this research? Seeing the expectation in his eyes, the consul sighed softly. Unfortunately, this experiment still failed. But fortunately, we got a research data report in the end. This experiment went a step further than the last one. Although it only expanded the proton energy to 3 dimensions, it was much better than the last one. The leader nodded after hearing this. It seems that we have to take it step by step, but we don't have much time left. In the next second, these miniature celestial bodies in orbit began to move rapidly along their orbits. Its movement trajectory becomes more diverse and its frequency changes dramatically. Then, these stars began to radiate scorching energy, shining as if they had absorbed all the light of the sun. Afterwards, they actually melted into liquid or even vaporized, because the energy overload transformed them into other forms of existence, or even decomposed due to chemical changes. However, among the many irregular liquids and gases in a vacuum state, the structures of some three-dimensional objects look somewhat similar. The only thing among them that was close to a regular spherical shape attracted everyone's attention. What is that? Could it be an independent individual after the energy transformation? Is it my imagination, or is that an eyeball? For a moment, fear swept everyone. Because many people discovered that the star was actually an eyeball-shaped object. And the light radiating from it seemed to be looking down upon everything. At this time, even the leader was shocked. But he had seen the world before, so he remained calm. Is that an eyeball? Or a kind of energy aggregate? Hearing his question, the Science Archon explained patiently. Master, it seems to be a kind of energy aggregate, but from the perspective of ordinary people, it is a three-dimensional sphere. At first glance, it looks similar to the shape of an eye, but in fact it is not part of an organism, but a miniature world. This is incredible. It is not surprising that the leaders were shocked. After all, this is applying macro concepts to the micro world, which is amazing. However, if you think about it carefully, you will understand. This kind of macro and micro are relative in themselves. It is possible that they are tiny compared to other civilizations. However, this microcosm of the universe is enough to let the leaders and the audience present understand what the change from one dimension to three dimensions, or even higher dimensions is. At this time, the chief scientist also told his theory to the leader. Master, what we are seeing now is the expansion and growth of one-dimensional proton energy. It will become three-dimensional energy and merge into this world. On this basis, when the energy changes from quantitative change to qualitative change again, it may be upgraded to four-dimensional, and so on. The concept of parallel universes is realized on the basis of the same dimension. For example, the three-dimensional world we live in is equivalent to a parallel world in the three-dimensional universe. Our civilization will also be in this dimension, similar to being restricted by a natural law. Because even parallel universes are confined to their own dimension. The upper and lower limits of development are vague, but they are close. As the dimension increases, the three-dimensional world we live in may be just a grain of sand among other high-dimensional civilizations, because the dimension increase will also bring about huge changes in space. Especially in a world with more than 7 dimensions, even the size of the sun may be like a ping-pong ball in relative terms. This also explains why many life forms in other dimensions, and even the abnormal life forms we have observed, have relatively larger volumes. As for the aliens we have seen and even the debris provided by relevant materials, they are nothing more than life forms of the same dimension billions of light years away in the same three-dimensional universe. The existence of the Trisolarans is only 1 or 2 dimensions higher than ours. And in the 8th dimension that we can hardly observe, the galaxy where the Trisolaran Civilization and even the entire Trisolaran race resides is relatively the same size as a proton. These theories, through scientists' observations of dimensions, and deductions from the microscopic to the macroscopic. All the civilizations in the world were shocked when they heard it. This kind of macro idea is something that many civilizations have never thought of, and it is even more of a fantasy for a civilization without the support of scientific research and technology. Especially Luoji in human civilization. I thought the Trisolarian civilization was already quite powerful, and could even be said to be superior to all other worlds. But now it seems that I was too narrow-minded. This may be the case that there is always a mountain higher than the other, and there is always a civilization beyond the civilization. Our human civilization is even a drop in the ocean among a drop in the ocean. It was also after this introduction that the audience on the website had a basic understanding of dimensions and parallel universes. It is like first understanding what bricks and tiles are when building a house, how to build a tower from sand, and using the basic units of protons and neutrons to construct a brilliant future of civilization and compose a grand epic. Even people living in the world of martial arts, the world of immortal cultivation, and the primitive world have gradually become enlightened and understood this world clearly. And when I think about this, people just felt more shocked. I never thought that I might be able to appreciate higher dimensions, and then improve my own technological level and control multiple dimensions. Moreover, when thinking about other higher dimensional universes, there is a more powerful existence who can control the survival of his own planet and civilization like a puppet as long as he wants. This kind of cross-level oppression will terrify even those who don't fully understand those specialized terms. The scientific and technological knowledge reserves of this website are definitely much stronger than we know. Dr. Octopus. Manipulating dimensions? This is a really incredible topic. Leader of the intelligent robot civilization. As expected, only the supreme and powerful can shape everything, and the powerful can decide the survival of all civilizations. Pluto. 011. What truth? I'm just telling the truth. If the three-body civilization doesn't work hard to become stronger, it will be destined to be destroyed. Pluto. That's right. The three-body civilization has no other choice. Their planet is already on the road to destruction. If they can't find a planet to migrate to, the three-body civilization will be completely extinct. The kind god of death. This is a civilization struggling to survive, Bone King. As a human civilization, I cannot understand what the three-body problem did. After all, the three-body problem is targeting the human civilization on Earth, which makes me feel uncomfortable. Moreover, knowing the terrible impact of the disaster, they still want to create the disaster. The three-body civilization deserves it. Doctor of Science. Because they were not the ones invaded, they can say such condescending words. Luoji. The civilizations in the universe were discussing this. At this time, the video continues. After many efforts of the three-body civilization, their second experiment was finally successful. However, this effort brought about even greater crisis and surprises, which was something the three-body civilization had not expected. Accident. The audience couldn't help but wonder. What accident happened? At this moment, in the video, the Fa 1/4 flare is pointing at the huge eyes in the sky. Can this be defined as, at this moment, in the microscopic universe inside the unfolded proton, there is some kind of intelligence and life? But in fact, the definition of life is not appropriate in the high-dimensional microcosm. To be more precise, it can only mean that there are other intelligences or intelligent creatures in the universe. After all, even scientists already have language. If there is no evolution of intelligence and life, then a grand and complex worldview will not exist. For the whole picture, the audience is more curious about the eyes in the sky. Why can protons show eyes and appear to be watching people from the Trisolaran Civilization? At this moment, even the three-body leader expressed great confusion. Those eyes in space are a wonderful shape, they look lifelike. But they just kept staring at the three-body world below, and there was something weird in their eyes. Maybe they just want to show their presence. The scientific archon said indifferently. But what the leader was more worried about was whether the eye in the sky would fall down. But the scientific archon was quite certain that such a thing would not fall. Moreover, even if they fell down, they would be almost the same as the filaments that were unfolded last time. After all, the total mass of these huge objects is only equivalent to a proton, even if you add up all their masses. It will not have any impact on the three-body civilization. But this time, the scientific consul suddenly realized that he was extremely wrong. People can clearly see that at this moment, among the two-dimensional objects in the sky, the eyes in the sky are moving rapidly. Their movement speed is really fast, obviously much faster than other geometric bodies. And they are converging at the same point. Finally, the two eyes completely merged together, but after the fusion, their shape was still an eye, but this eye became bigger. Then more and more eyes joined in this fusion, and their size continued to increase. Finally, all the eyes merged into one. It was as if an astonishing giant eye in the sky was watching the entire three-body civilization. This eye looks very clear and bright, as if there is the sun's rays in the middle. On those wide eyelids, colorful colors rolled in like a flood. After a while, the surface details of the giant eye began to fade, and finally, it gradually disappeared. Then, they seemed to form a mirror, extremely empty, yet reflecting the sun's light. At this moment, the military archon of the three-body civilization was staring at the giant in the sky. Suddenly, he realized the danger and shouted loudly. Fa 1/4 rare, hide in the underground hiding room. The military governor pointed to the huge glasses in the sky and shouted in shock, it is. It's just a mirror, said the Fa 1/4 rare calmly. Order the space defense fleet to destroy it. I'll stand right here and watch him destroy me. At this moment, the sunlight gathered by the reflector is completely projected onto the Trisolaran planet. Initially, the area of A the light spot is very large and has not yet fully focused, so the heat is not great. But the next moment, the people of the three-body civilization suddenly realized that the light spot was constantly moving on the ground, as if it was looking for a target. Finally, the reflector in the sky noticed the capital city on the ground. This is the largest city in the Trisolaran civilization, so the light spot moved towards the capital. The entire spot of light completely enveloped the capital. Under the monument of the giant pendulum, the people of the three-body world could only see an astonishingly huge light appearing in the sky, as if the entire world was distorted. The light was so bright that people couldn't even open their eyes. Then, along with the arrival of the light spot, countless Trisolarans felt an astonishing surge of heat. The light spot continued to shrink rapidly, and the reflector was focusing the sunlight reflected from the sun. At this moment, the light group in the sun continued to strengthen, even making it impossible for people to raise their heads. The temperature is rising rapidly. The civilizations in the universe were also very curious when they saw this. What's this? What happened? What happened? Tony, the richest man. I don't understand, Gentleman's Sword. Seeing that the people of the three-body civilization are so anxious, maybe they are encountering some danger. Xiaodo. These eyes seem to have their own consciousness, as if they want to resist. Hong Wang Daipen. No. It's not as if, they just have their own consciousness. Huang. Could it be that the person upstairs is some big shot on the fantasy battle power list, Emperor Huang Tian? Many civilizations watched this scene and talked about it. Even a mysterious powerful person appeared. The narrator's deep voice sounded. As the Proton civilization was about to be destroyed, they finally couldn't stand it anymore. They decided to sacrifice themselves rather than sit and wait for death. Thus, they formed eyes, which became amazing magnifying glasses. They want to perish together with the Trisolaran civilization. The three-body civilization in the video also began to fight back. They dropped an astonishing cosmic nuclear bomb on the Proton civilization. Then everyone saw it. First, they saw an amazing inverted cone of light. The reflector in space is the base of the light cone. Several dazzling fireballs appeared in different parts of the mirror. They are a different color than the light emitted by the mirror. This is a nuclear bomb launched by the Trisolaran Space Defense Force. Then, the nuclear bomb exploded. Because the explosion took place outside the atmosphere, no sound was heard. At the same time, the cone of death light disappeared and the world returned to normal light. For a moment, people felt that everything was as dark as a moonlit night. Those fragments, which had lost their intelligence, continued to deform and soon blended with other geometry in the space. It's as if nothing had happened. 012. So shocking. Galen. The resistance of Proton civilization? Proton civilization? How is this possible? Tony, the richest man. What is Proton civilization? Zhang Sanfan Proton, just think of it as an ant, a civilization composed of a group of ants. Dr. Octopus. No, in a sense, they are smaller and weaker than ants. Spider-Man Parker, it is such a weak civilization that is invisible to the naked eye, but it can almost destroy the three-body civilization. It's really amazing. TNG Wong Hexi. I don't understand a euro. Indra. People who are not technologically civilized will definitely not understand it. Rick, let me explain it this way. The universe where the proton civilization exists is not the same universe as the three-body universe. There is a huge time difference between the two. Perhaps it is one flower, one world. 1 second in the three-body universe is tens of thousands or even millions of years in the proton universe. Only in this way can we explain how the proton civilization adapted to the third dimension so quickly. Rick. That's one reason. The second reason is that they have great potential. This is equivalent to an ordinary person rebelling against God, just like an ordinary person in your fantasy world trying to kill the Emperor after a very short development time. Rick. I understood it instantly. This means that proton civilization is really terrifying. My son Wang Teng has the qualities of an emperor. But he is still not as good as my son. My son Wang Teng has the qualities of an emperor. Who is this Rick? He seems very smart. Tony, the richest man. Grandpa Rick. Morty. After the civilizations in the heavens understood the proton civilization, they were even more shocked. It turns out that proton civilization is also a civilization. The screen returns to the video. At this moment, the head of the three-body is questioning the scientific archon about what the next experiment will be like. However, the scientific archon simply said calmly that there was no problem. Even if the proton expands into thought, the volume of the proton becomes very small after the thought expands. Therefore, they could completely destroy the four-dimensional proton when it became aggressive. But the military consul spoke to the scientific consul in great anger. Are you deceiving the Fa 1/4 rare? He asked, what if the proton is a zero-dimensional expansion? Finally, not only the three-body leader, but even the audiences from all the heavens and worlds suddenly realized something. If a proton is expanded in zero dimension, it will become a point with no size. What is a point without size? Singularity. At this moment, the audiences from all over the world also realized it. Compared to the singularity, the proton is infinite, and if all the mass of the proton were contained in the singularity, the density would grow infinitely. This means that a black hole will appear, and the black hole will completely destroy the three civilizations. This is almost unacceptable to the three-body civilization. The audiences from all over the world gasped. They immediately realized how severe a blow would be to the three-body world if a black hole appeared and created a danger. It seems that even the road of scientific research is still long and arduous. But the science archon quickly gave an explanation. To avoid this dangerous vocalization, they chose to deploy protons instead of seeds. Because, if the proton really undergoes zero-dimensional expansion, even so, the electric charge carried by the proton will be transferred to the black hole formed after the expansion. Therefore, the Three-Body Research Institute can capture and control black holes through electromagnetism. Thus, the three-body civilization began its subsequent scientific research. They cleaned up three-dimensional protons in geostationary orbit, which is much easier than cleaning up one-dimensional protons. Using only a small spacecraft, a large amount of proton matter can be removed from the planet's space to prevent these protons from entering the atmosphere. Although protons form an existence like mountains, these mountain materials have almost no mass. They are like a huge silver phantom. Even a baby can easily drag away the entire mountain. At this moment, audiences from all over the world saw this scene and couldn't help but sigh. Because those silvery white phantoms were the former proton civilization. However, these proton civilizations were easily destroyed simply because their dimensions were too low. But there is not a single audience in the heavens and all realms who is not shocked by these proton civilizations. After all, the audience all saw the dying counterattack of the proton civilization. A low-dimensional cosmic civilization almost destroyed a high-dimensional civilization. What a shock! This is like an ant shaking a saint. Proton civilization has a high level of control over cosmic energy, higher than many other civilizations. It's a pity that they were still destroyed. There is nothing left. Afterwards, the head of state asked the scientific consul, did we destroy civilization in the microcosm in this experiment? At least it is an intelligent being. And, Fa 1/4 rare, we destroyed the entire microcosm. This universe is very magnificent in high-dimensional space. Obviously, there may be more than one kind of intelligence or civilization, but they have no chance to express themselves to the macroscopic world. Of course, in microscopic high-dimensional space, intelligence and civilization are absolutely unimaginable, they are completely another matter. Also note, this is not the first time this has happened. Oh. In the long history of science, how many protons have physicists smashed together using accelerators? How many neutrons and electrons have they smashed together? Perhaps no less than 100 million times. Each impact could cause devastating damage to the intelligence or civilization in the microscopic world. In fact, even in nature, the destruction of the microscopic world is always happening, such as the decay of protons and neutrons. A beam of high-energy cosmic rays entering the atmosphere may destroy thousands of microscopic worlds. The audiences from all over the world were all listening to this conversation, and at this moment, they were extremely shocked. You know, the three-body civilization is equivalent to destroying a universe at will. Even if this universe is just a microcosm. But how many living things exist in such a universe? Can't count. 013. Sure enough. Every power system has its strengths. We still need to further understand other civilizations in order to be invincible forever. Shwedi. If the 10th on the science fiction list has such strength, then the ones before that will be, I can't imagine, Queen Yin Zhuyin. Waiting online, is it too late to switch to technology now? Gentleman Sword. I knew technology had great potential. Spider-Man Parker. Hey. That's not what you said before. Dr. Octopus. Ahem, don't expose it. Spider-Man Parker. Already learning technology. Xiaodo. Underscore? How can I see you playing games again? Bye Yukui. Euro boss, you haven't slept yet. Xiaodo. This proton civilization is really shocking. Tianji Wang Hexi. At this time. Super God Universe. Seraph Galaxy. In a sacred and profound place like a fairy palace, a golden-haired seraph is stretching out his 6 wings and raising his bright eyes to look at the deep and vast space above his head, where is the endless universe outside the galaxy. This mystery seems to contain countless galaxies and multiple dimensions. It seems that even if hundreds of millions of years are spent, it is impossible to comprehend it. Are there other civilizations out there? Are there any higher dimensional beings than the Seraphim civilization? While whispering softly, the angel lowered her eyes, and her long golden eyelashes covered her eyelids, making her holy, flawless face even more captivating. At this moment, Hexi was full of curiosity and yearning for other civilizations in the universe. Especially after seeing the incredible miracles on the website with my own eyes, the feeling became even stronger. She even thought about how she, Kyle, and Liang Bing once ruled the planet together, but they parted ways due to disagreements and each ruled their own way. Now it seems that if I had seen the website earlier, I might not have made such a wrong decision. Otherwise, what if one's own civilization encounters the terrible experience of human civilization? Then I'm afraid the 3 Seraph civilizations will be destroyed one by more advanced civilizations. The only thing that made her feel fortunate was that, unlike the other 2, she was devoted to studying science and technology. Now it seems that my persistence was right. Only by continuously strengthening science and technology can our civilization survive in this chaotic world. Even if it encounters danger, it will not be easily destroyed. But at this moment, a female angel subordinate also entered her bedroom. Your Majesty Hexi, the Minister of Finance and I have just compiled a survey report. Our combat power is decreasing sharply every year, especially because of wars with other civilizations and self-protection. Plus, the budget that is constantly invested in scientific research is like a blood pump that only takes in but does not give out. I am afraid that our civilization... Go on. I had roughly guessed the answer, but she wanted to hear with her own ears how serious the current situation was before she could make the next decision. I'm afraid the end of the Seraph civilization is not far away. This is why I didn't want to be with Kyle. War will only bring destruction. Watch the video on that website. Hexi has now made up his mind. Perhaps it is time to put aside the past grudges with Sister Kyle, unite against the common enemy, and revive our tribe. Seeing her stand up resolutely, the angel's eyes lit up. Your Majesty Hexi, are you really planning to make peace with His Majesty Kyle again? But I'm afraid she won't agree. I understand, but the situation is volatile now, so we have to do it. At this moment, other civilizations in the picture were also deeply shocked by the video. Although the video has turned black and paused, ripples are spreading in everyone's hearts, and a single stone can cause 1,000 waves. It was also at this time that the website gave new content after many repeated experiments and failures. The 3-body civilization's high-tech project, proton engineering, has been completed and even put into use. Earth's technology has also been completely blocked by proton technology and can no longer break through the upper limit, forming an insurmountable gap between it and the 3-body civilization. These 2 lines of text made many civilizations think they were dreaming. Because the Sophon causes scientists and human civilization to constantly encounter the same bottlenecks in their research. No matter how hard they try in the process, they will eventually fall into a vicious circle. This will cause scientific research to stagnate, just like a formula that will never be solved. Only the Trisolarians could come up with such a sinister plan. This not only limits the scientific development of human civilization, but also affects the historical process of this civilization. Even if human civilization has created what they believe to be powerful space battleships, they are still like ants in the eyes of the Trisolarans, and are just like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Not to mention that there are at least 9 weapons like that water droplet. For a time, many civilizations didn't even know how to organize language. Is this a technological dimensionality reduction attack? It seems that humans have almost no chance of winning. Tisk tisk, it's really horrible and heartbreaking. What you think is an iron wall and a technological shield is nothing but an insurmountable gap in the eyes of others. Even at this time, people like Tony Tucker began to imagine that even the Marvel universe he was in might have no choice but to surrender if faced with such a terrifying civilization. After all, the limit of human cognition is there, and it is an insurmountable chasm. But at this moment, among the many 3-dimensional parallel universes, in the C137 universe, a scientist named Rick also burped. That's nothing. I believe the author of the website wouldn't think it's anything special. After all, I have seen many such masters of she-trick. Anyway, in his opinion, the so-called high technology of the 3-body civilization is nothing more than playing house. Anyway, it's just trash to Rick, who is omnipotent and even invented the space teleportation gun. What's more, there is a 4-dimensional advanced universe in Rick's UFO storage compartment. There are 4 different worlds with relative dimensions. And to them, I am a dimensionality reduction attack within a dimensionality reduction attack. However, not everyone knows Rick's background. At this time, some people questioned his words. You talk so loudly, why don't you use your own high-tech? Yeah, show me what you can do, or you're just bragging. No matter how powerful you are just one person, but the three-body civilization is an entire civilization. Unfortunately, facing everyone's questions, Grandpa Rick just smiled and burped. Tisk, I don't care about your criticism, you ignorant scum. Seeing how arrogant he was, although some viewers were dissatisfied, no one dared to disobey him. They understood that Rick must have something extraordinary to be able to do such a thing on the website. Otherwise, if it were someone else who didn't have his ability, they would make fun of many universes in the heavens and all worlds. I am afraid that both the person and his planet will turn into cosmic dust in an instant. But Rick dared to do so. After all, he was the most omnipotent individual scientist in the three-dimensional universe. Although he was not as powerful as an entire civilization, he himself was equivalent to dozens of ordinary civilizations. He even locked onto several fixed parallel universes by himself. As for the three-body world, it is naturally not worth mentioning in his eyes. Oh, what is this? It looks interesting. At this moment, as the scene changed, Rick's eyes lit up. It turns out that the Earth is facing the threat of the three-body civilization. 014. It's not over yet. Tony, the richest man. Is this the scene of arriving on Earth? Is the following plot related to human civilization on Earth? Batman. It's so frustrating. Why are humans so weak? They are always bullied by the three-body civilization. Xiaodo. At Zaidu, are you still posting videos? Bye Yukui. Hey, boss, you haven't slept yet. Right away. I'll go right away. Xiaodo. I can tell at a glance that you are not a serious worker. At AE plus or minus dot. Tony, the richest man. Hey, aren't you the same? Xiaodo. What happened next? Why is the video so slow? Emperor Shishan. It is a disaster for human civilization. Qin Shi Huang. Is that really the first emperor upstairs? Emperor Shishan. While everyone was discussing, the video reached its climax. In fact, human civilization in the three-body universe has long known that it will go to war with the three-body civilization. Because preparations for this battle had actually begun hundreds of years ago when the information from the three-body problem was received. The rapid development of human civilization and technology over the past few hundred years has led them to believe that they can already handle this doomsday war. This war is no longer a doomsday war, but a real counterattack against the Trisolaran Civilization. At this moment, in the sky of the Earth, nearly 2,000 Space Star-class battleships are arranged in an orderly manner, with great momentum, like a dark and deep terrifying nightmare. At this moment, even the audience in all the heavens and worlds could realize that the technology of Earth civilization was developing rapidly. Moreover, they once again felt the rapid development of Earth civilization. In just 100 years, human civilization has been able to build so many amazing space battleships and face the universe. The three-body civilization's defense is not without reason. If humans are really given a period of time to develop, then human civilization may not take long to develop amazing high-dimensional technology. At this moment, many patrol warships were lined up above the universe. They are welcoming the three-body civilization, and they are waiting for the arrival of the three-body civilization. At this moment, the Earth civilization is extremely confident. More than 2,000 space battleships are like a stunning painting of the Milky Way. At this moment, they have unlimited confidence that they can protect the Earth. Now, everyone on Earth believes that they can definitely defeat the Trisolaran civilization. This technological explosion has given humans tremendous confidence. However, in reality, only these confident humans have no idea what will happen next. What they don't know is that the Trisolaran civilization has already begun to control the Earth's technology. Strike back. Spider-Man Parker. Is this a space battleship? The combat capability of human civilization is not bad. So many battleships. Big Xiao. It's really not bad. This technology has already crushed humans in our universe. Tony, the richest man. It's all good looking but useless. Rick. I feel like you are targeting me. At Rick. Tony, the richest man. Every time I say technology is good, you criticize me. Tony, the richest man. Just telling the truth. Rick. Although I don't want to admit it, what he said is indeed true. Logi. A euro Tony, the richest man. In the video, humans possess an astonishing number of space battleships, which makes countless viewers feel amazed and shocked. And most importantly, the audience was somewhat confused. Hasn't the Trisolaran civilization completely blocked the technology of human civilization? Why is human civilization able to develop so many amazing space battleships? Amid the discussion and curiosity of the crowd, in the video, a drop of water flew into the Milky Way. And the video gives a close-up of the water droplets. And it comes with narration. This water drop is actually a cosmic probe of the three-body civilization. But don't underestimate it because it is a probe. Its surface is extremely smooth and you can't tell it is a probe at all. Most importantly, the water drop detector has extreme attack power, which is beyond the comprehension of human civilization. Its name is the Interaction Force Probe, and it can fly at a rapid third cosmic speed, and can even fly at amazing angles that are completely beyond human understanding. Hearing this, everyone understood instantly. In other words, human civilization has no idea what it is facing. They cannot even understand the water droplet detector of the three-body civilization. This is the crushing victory between cosmic technologies. And then, when the three-body civilization's cosmic probe entered the Milky Way, the entire human civilization was stunned. Even all the human beings who were watching the live broadcast from Earth were stunned. They didn't know how terrifying the water droplet detector was, but when they saw that this thing was only the size of a water droplet, the audience all over the world were confused. Could this be the invasion of the three-body civilization? How is it possible that the invasion of the three-body civilization only required an ordinary small drop of water? Even the Earth's Federation of Nations held an emergency meeting for this purpose. Finally, they came to a conclusion. That is, the three-body civilization is afraid. What are they here to talk about? The three-body civilization has seen the amazing strength of Earth today, so they want to surrender. At this moment, the space fleet was arranged in a strict array, which seemed extremely majestic. This is Earth civilization showing their dignity as human beings to the entire universe. And their completely invincible technological power. At this moment, the entire Earth civilization became excited. At this moment, the entire Earth was boiling. 015. Human civilization is developing so fast. In just a few years, so many space battleships have been built. Optimus Prime. Yes, no wonder the Trisolaran Civilization has to use the Sophon project to restrict the Earth. The beautiful Grim Reaper. It's strange. Since the Earth is restricted by the Trisolaran Civilization's intelligent particle engineering, why can humans still build space battleships? And they can build so many of them. Dr. Banner. It's a conspiracy. Batman. Conspiracy. Platycodon grandiflorum. Yes, this is indeed a conspiracy, alas. Luoji. Luoji? Could this Luoji above be the wall-facer Luoji chosen by human civilization in the three-body universe? Zhang Junbao. Hey? Luoji is still alive. Zhang Bahai. Look, what is that? Just as all civilizations were shocked by the scene before them. The video was locked onto a gigantic interstellar shuttle. A few lines of text also appeared in the video. We are the first sprouts of ignorance, it is a glimmer of hope in the darkness, we are the last survivors of the dark forest law. Dawn. Seeing this scene, many viewers couldn't help but exclaim. This is really the Dawn. When they saw the familiar ship, Luoji and others were shocked. I couldn't help but clench my fists lightly. Dawn. In the battle between humans and Trisolarans. All human ships were almost destroyed. Luoji still vividly remembers the scene in which all human wisdom was in danger and vulnerable in front of the Trisolarans. And among these many starships built with the highest level of human technology and wisdom, only the Dawn survived, carrying the last spark of hope for mankind. Just like Prometheus in Greek mythology who brought light and fire to people, he survived. This also depends on the bravery and fearlessness of the driver. At the same time, 2 other ships were sacrificed. Upon hearing this news, many people couldn't help but exclaim, who is the pilot of this Dawn? It seems that his driving skills and strategies must have reached the pinnacle. Only Luoji whispered at this time, he is Zhang Bahai. After his introduction, everyone found out. The driver of the Dawn is a soldier who has lived for several centuries. A soldier from the Dragon Kingdom. His name is Zhang Bahai. He knew clearly that human technology was vulnerable to the three-body civilization. Instead of resisting stubbornly, he chose to survive in despair. He knows too. I have no choice, otherwise, today will be the end of all mankind. The human species will completely disappear from the universe. So, I must escape. Even if only one starship survives, even if only a few thousand people out of the billions of people can board the ship, they will flee. What they carry is the profound history and inheritance mission of human civilization spanning thousands of years. All this is just to pass on the last torch of mankind. This kind of mission and responsibility also made all the civilizations present silent. Although there are many advanced civilizations among them. It has impressive technological achievements and a brilliant history. But I thought that if one day a civilization launched such a dimensionality reduction attack on me, the highest technological level of one's own civilization may be so vulnerable in front of the other side. No one present could stay out of it. But at this time, some people couldn't help asking questions out of curiosity. How big will the gap be between Trisolaran civilization and human civilization? This question is also what other people are curious about. Once it was proposed, it attracted countless responses. Yes, if we can predict dangers in advance and prepare for them, then can we learn from them and take them as a warning when our civilization is in danger? For a moment, all the universes held their breath. The scene of the entire planet being destroyed in an instant and countless water droplets piercing their homes and even the entire planet made them feel a chill from the bottom of their hearts. However, no one answered their questions. The video just switched the screen. The view comes to the interior of the Dawn. Countless electromagnetic waves burst out around the giant star-class battleship. But in fact, it is not prepared to fight back with electromagnetic pulse. Instead, it is charging. The blue flame at the tail of the starship also became brighter. It seemed like it was about to burst out at any time, driving the entire starship into the boundless universe. At this time, Zhang Bahai was standing in front of a red button. Looking at the starships of our compatriots being destroyed in the universe not far away. His vision was slightly blurred, but he never let the tears flow. Just put your hand over the button. He knows. Just press send. Dawn will rush out of the solar system at a speed close to the speed of light. Zhang Bahai, what are you going to do? Why don't you fight? Are you going to desert? What happened to the Dawn? Did it malfunction? At this moment, no one in the command center expected Zhang Bahai's actions. Countless insults came from the intercom he was wearing in the ground command center. But the next second, Zhang Bahai had already opened the operation panel and issued a command, codenamed 404. Should we cut off all communications with the ground command center? Looking at the line of text on the virtual screen, he closed his eyes and chose yes. Disconnect from the ground and terminate everything. Hint, the ship has been fully charged. Do you want to head into space? As the voices of the people on the ground disappeared from my ears, the blue planet behind me was now burned and devastated. Zhang Bahai whispered softly, "Goodbye, my home. We will live on with the hopes of all humans and the people of Dragon Country." Almost choking with tears, he pressed the red button without hesitation. "All crew members please enter the hibernation chamber immediately and enter the deep sea state. The starship will launch in 10 seconds. I saw Zhang Bahai and others wading into the hibernation chamber. A stream of dark blue liquid poured into the cabin, enveloping it. Optimus Prime couldn't help but ask. What is the deep sea state? Can humans breathe in this liquid? Luoji calmed down a little and explained patiently. The so-called deep sea state is to let the crew members sleep in a special breathable liquid. At the same time, it can also ensure that the lives of the crew members are protected when the ship travels faster than the speed of light. Otherwise, if they are not in the hibernation chamber, their lives will be in danger. This is also a consideration that the battleship designers took into account when designing the battleship. Countdown to ship launch 3, 2, 1. Emission. For a time, many civilizations were shocked by the spirit of mankind. At the moment when the fire on the ship reached its brightest, it was as if the light of human survival was shining. With the starship's flames drawing an arc, dawn rushed out of the Milky Way at its maximum speed, at a speed visible to the naked eye, like a scorching small sun. The universe was silent, but people seemed to be able to hear the roar of the ship as it flew away. At this time, new text also appeared on the screen. Hint, at this time, the spacecraft has reached forward speed 5, which is the fastest speed that human-designed starships can achieve so far, equivalent to 500 Mach, which is 15.64% of the speed of light. This is also why all crew members have to enter the deep sea state, to prevent their bodies from being crushed into dust due to the super strong impact and light speed movement. At this time, all the civilizations watching the live broadcast were almost stunned. This battleship did not choose to fight, but instead fled from its home planet at the speed of light. What's even more amazing is that, faced with the overwhelming technological level of the Trisolaran Civilization, he actually managed to escape. Or is this a contempt from the three-body civilization? They didn't even bother to track this starship? This scene made many viewers who were in other parallel universes and also human civilization feel very uncomfortable. I was expecting the starships to fight the Trisolaran Civilization, but this is the result. +1, I wanted to see the human fleet defeat the Trisolaran Civilization with little effort, but you showed me a traitor running away? Is this the essence of the 36 strategies of strategies, where the best strategy is to flee? I guess the beginning, but not the ending. I thought the Dawn was the protagonist of this battle, and would rewrite human history and defeat the three-body civilization. I didn't expect it to run away. How shameful. Pre-nuclear human civilization. We really shouldn't run away. It's wrong to abandon our own race and run away when faced with a three-body civilization probe. The kind god of death. No, it was a wise decision. Tianji Wang Hexi. Wise? Leaving your own race and running away, is this wise? Gentleman's sword. At AAA per thousand, you still have the nerve to say that? Why didn't you think about it when you betrayed your own disciples? Dongfang Bubai. You still have the nerve to call yourself the gentleman's sword. Dongfang Bubai. Ha ha ha. Slap in the face. Spider-Man Parker. So, why did this battleship run away? Was it because it wasn't strong enough? I don't understand, but I was shocked. Lelich. 016. It's normal to be afraid of death. After all, they are facing an unknown civilization, and this civilization is very advanced. Even if it has powerful technology, the civilization is still unknown. Demon Queen Morgana. Sometimes, confidence is the most important weapon. Pluto. An expert in big ideas. Spider-Man Parker. It does not need any energy to fly, and it is too smooth. I doubt whether it has any mechanical structure inside. It is as if the entire galaxy is reflected as a pattern of light on its surface. Tony, the richest man. At Tony, the richest man, do you also understand technology? Batman. Of course. I am the smartest scientist on Earth. Our Earth. Tony, the richest man. Tisk, who would believe that? Xiaodo. Don't believe it. Let me put it this way. This drop of water is absolutely awesome. Tony, the richest man. Look, the water drop has been caught by humans. Zhang Junbao. The richest man Tony. In the picture at this moment, some human scientists are conducting research after capturing water droplets. When Shidid saw this scene, the smile on his face froze instantly. I remembered that I was just talking about how invincible and lonely this water drop detector was. The result is now that he was slapped in the face. He was choked and couldn't speak for a long time. It also led to Shidid being directly ridiculed by others on the website. At the same time, in the picture, a white-haired old man in his 70s is observing the seemingly insignificant drop of water. However, even with a microscope, they couldn't see any clues. When he magnified the water droplet 10,000 times, he finally saw the entire picture inside the water droplet. The shocking scene made the hairs on his body stand up. It is even more unexpected that such a small thing that cannot be seen by the naked eye can actually be a weapon that can destroy an entire civilization. This also made the old man instantly realize the gap between himself and the Trisolarans, and his face became quite ugly. You know, this old man was one of the most outstanding scientists in human civilization 2 centuries ago. He originally thought that human technology could no longer develop and would disappear into thin air along with the end of the world. But when you see this drop of water that looks like a tear of God's mercy, Ding Yi said with trembling Li. 017. Oh shit. Such strong drops of water. Zhang Hulan. The three-body civilization destroyed 2,000 space battleships of the Earth civilization with just one probe. How can we fight them? Lu Pai Kang. Sophon engineering is the engineering that the three-body civilization uses to restrict the technology of human civilization. It is precisely because of this terrible Sophon engineering that humans can be defeated so easily. Tony, the richest man. That's right, it is precisely because human development is restricted by Sophons that technology is crushed. Doctor Who. I don't know what the final outcome of human civilization will be. Yung Xiao. Perhaps, it is destruction. Pluto. At Pluto, why do you sound so deep? Zhang Hulan. You are not alone. Spider-Man Parker. At A1/4 AENA with ring above superscript 2, he called you a non-human. Xiaodo. Spider-Man Parker. Was the human civilization of this universe finally enslaved? Chang'e. Yes. Luoji. We have to admit that everyone was shocked when a water droplet probe destroyed 2,000 space battleships. At least the weaker cultivators do not have such strength. In just a few minutes, thousands of warships were destroyed. What a horror. The universe understands. Because the Trisolaran Civilization is afraid of the speed of human civilization's development, and is afraid that by the time their fleet arrives, human civilization's technology will have surpassed that of the Trisolaran Civilization. The potential for the development of human civilization is very strong. It took more than 100,000 Earth years for human civilization to move from the hunting age to the agricultural age. But it took only a few thousand years to move from the agricultural age to the industrial age. Then, in just 200 years, we entered the atomic age, and within a few decades, we entered the information age. Even the three-body civilization was shocked by such a terrifying explosion of technological evolution. They were afraid that by the time their fleet arrived, humans would have developed technology that was sufficient to fight against them. It has to be said that after this video ended, the universe had a better understanding of the power of technological civilization. Although I still don't think technology is better than fantasy and cultivation, I don't deny that technology also has potential. Is it too late to switch to technology now? Gentleman Sword. I am also very interested in science and technology. Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng. At CACAE, aren't you pursuing immortality? Immortality is definitely a faster way to cultivate immortality. Emperor Shishan. Compared to the illusory practice of cultivating immortals, technology can more directly enhance the national strength of the Qin Empire. Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng. His Majesty the First Emperor? Is there another First Emperor still alive in some universe? Zhang Hulan. It should be. After all, this is the universe, and anything is possible. Pluto. For example, maybe there are more terrifying technological civilizations, even comparable to the ancient saints of the East? Or those great emperors in fantasy? Spider-Man Parker. This is impossible. Is technology really that advanced? Hong Wang Daipen. I agree. Technology shouldn't be that powerful. My son Wang Teng has the qualities to be an emperor. The universe was full of discussions. And at the same time, the second article content has also slowly started to update. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 9 Singer Civilization. Reasons for being on the list: possessing powerful technological power, possessing intergalactic technology, possessing dimensional technology, possessing dimensionality reduction attack technology, and possessing cross-dimensional technology. When the second inventory was released, there was an uproar. Dimensionality reduction attack technology? Interdimensional technology? Not to mention the first 2 items, they are definitely higher than the three-body civilization. What really surprised the heavens were the last few items. Dimension technology. The three-body civilization also has dimensional technology, but they only have a limited understanding of it. The Sophon project is created using dimensional technology. It's just that the three-body civilization makes very poor use of dimensional technology. In order to develop intelligent particles, civilization was almost destroyed. It was the proton civilization that gathered together like an eye and almost destroyed the three-body civilization. Proton civilization is a civilization that comes out of this dimension. So there is no doubt that dimension technology must be very strong. Many technological civilizations don't even have access to dimensional technology. Or maybe dimensional technology is being developed. Like the Marvel Universe right now. Tony Stark is known as the smartest scientist on Earth. Dimensional technology? Dimensional. Tony Stark muttered. He had been thinking about the idea of a Euro dimension before, but no matter how he experimented, he couldn't make it come true. This newly listed civilization can achieve dimensionality reduction attack, proving that their technology has far exceeded their own ideas. If he could at least understand the technology of the three-body civilization, then he could no longer understand the technology of the Singer civilization. Beyond cognition. Spider-Man Peter Parker is also thinking. How powerful is dimension technology? Judging from the fact that a simple intelligent particle project of the three-body civilization can block the technology of Earth civilization, dimension is definitely a very terrifying technology. Super God Universe. City of Angels. Today the angels stopped fighting. Angel Queen Holy Keisha is watching the video. When she saw the 9th place, she was slightly stunned. Dimensionality reduction strike capability. Keisha understands dimensional technology, and has used some of it herself. For example, even if she is killed, Keisha will not really die, but her body will only be broken down into molecular state. This is also an application of dimensional technology. But it is only the most basic and simplest application. Dimensionality reduction attack technology, this is obviously a more powerful technology among dimensional technologies, right? At least in Keisha's opinion, it should be a powerful technology. Same time. Tianji Wang Hexi also looked at the new inventory video. 9th place, Singer Civilization. Dimensionality reduction attack. 018. Your Majesty, we have searched this universe. We have found 600,000 civilizations related to the Singer Civilization. However, only 36 of them involve dimensional technology. Sifting. Li Yulai analyzed meticulously. The Galactic Empire's most powerful AI is not just talk. Qin Zheng slowly opened his eyes. The Singer Civilization? Another familiar civilization. Interesting. Qin Zheng's mouth corners slightly raised. The Singer Civilization is also a powerful civilization in the three-body universe. In terms of technology, it is many times stronger than the three-body civilization. Qin Zheng knows about the two-dimensional foil, and it comes from the Singer Civilization. However, nowadays, the two-dimensional foil is not even a cleaning tool for the Galactic Empire. It seems that this list is not very good. Or maybe I'm too strong. When one's strength reaches a certain level, other technologies will no longer be shocking to the user. How's the dimensional channel? Qin Zheng slowly opened his eyes, a hint of interest flashed in his eyes, and said. Your Majesty, it will take some time for the dimensional channel to be constructed. As Li Yulai spoke, he moved his right hand in front of him and a data line appeared, showing completion rate, 29%. Qin Zheng rarely showed a smile. Dimensional channel. This is the passage leading to any universe in the heavens and all realms. At that time, as long as you have the coordinates, you can travel through the anime world, comic world, martial arts world, movie world, etc. that you have seen in your previous life. The Galactic Empire's step into the heavens and all realms is about to be realized. Once the dimensional channel reaches 50 progress, the Empire will enter a state of war readiness. Yes, Your Majesty. Li Yulai bowed slightly. Qin Zheng had nothing to do, so he turned his attention to the inventory again. Just treat it as a way to relax when you have nothing to do. When the passage begins, the battle begins. Qin Zheng was originally called the Galactic Tyrant. So he is not a kind person. Qin Zheng adheres to one point, wherever the Galactic Empire goes, it will be ruled by the Empire. Except where the Empire was too lazy to rule. For example, some desolate places. And some species that Qin Zheng himself doesn't like. Like some creatures that have no emotions and only know how to reproduce and survive. Without emotions, there is no sense of accomplishment in ruling, and it is meaningless. So Qin Zheng is not interested. For example, this universe. Nearly 10% of the universe's area and species are not ruled by the Galactic Empire. It's not that the Empire can't rule, it's just that it's too lazy to rule. And the strongest point of the Empire is that there is no rebellious force in the Empire's territory. C-137 Universe. Rick. The list has been updated again. In the secret laboratory, Morty ran in happily. Rick took a sip of wine and complained nonchalantly, Morty, I've told you many times that this list is meaningless. It's all crappy and backward technology. Rick, you say that all the time. Because I'm telling the truth. Morty was a little unhappy, but he couldn't think of any rebuttal for a moment. Grandpa Rick always gets so angry that he becomes speechless. Rick is just this kind of person who is very serious. Rick glanced at Morty and opened the video anyway. Dimensional technology. Rick muttered something. Of course he knew how to make dimensional technology, so he was not surprised. But if you think about it carefully, dimension technology is ranked 8th, proving that the strength of this list is indeed good. However, Rick is more curious about what the universe network is like. Rick also tried to find out who was behind this cosmic network, but he couldn't. Prove that the source of this cosmic web is not in our own universe. This is from another universe, and it will take some time to find out. Moreover, Rick believed that many people in the universe were investigating and the truth would be revealed in due time. While thinking, Rick looked at the video. The barrage has flooded the screen. Dimensional technology? Dimensionality reduction attack? This civilization is amazing. Spider-Man Parker. Dimension? What is dimension? Linghu Chong. Didn't you watch the last inventory video? The video about the three-body civilization includes an explanation about dimensions. The Sophons project is one of the dimensional technologies. For many of our scientists, this is already cutting-edge technology. It is very powerful to be able to block a race of technology. Dr. Agaza. Is he powerful? Just so. His potential is far inferior to my son's. My son Wang Teng has the potential to be an emperor. Can you please stop talking? If you keep talking, your son will make enemies all over the heavens and the world. Kazuma Jayaka Utah. No, he has made enemies throughout the heavens and worlds. He is too arrogant. If I could travel through time, I would definitely go through time and kill him. Hong Wang Daipen. Humph. It's because you are too weak that you can't travel through time. My son Wang Teng has the qualities to be a great emperor. UFGBD. Hong Wang Daipen. Okay, everyone stop arguing and watch the video. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 9 Singer Civilization. Reasons for being on the list: possessing powerful technological power, possessing intergalactic technology, possessing dimensional technology, possessing dimensionality reduction attack technology, and possessing cross-dimensional technology. When the second civilization appeared, the civilizations in the heavens were not only surprised, but also somewhat confused. Some powerful civilizations don't quite understand why they are not on the list. Is it possible that the technology of this Singer civilization is really that powerful? Accompanied by arguments and doubts. Video playback starts. Entering the video, you will feel as if you are there, and instantly fall into a dark and boundless universe. 019. The three-body universe in a higher dimensional universe. As the video sinks in, it sounds like a know-it-all introduction. 9. High-dimensional civilization, deep diver civilization. The organic life forms in the deep diver civilization are amphibians. In water, they can use infrasound to transmit information and absorb breathable gases in the water like fish. On land, they can walk upright like humans, but their brains are more developed and they have more than 5 times the intelligence of ordinary humans. As the opening remarks sounded, the image of the creatures of the Deep One civilization appeared in the video. This is a species completely different from humans. Its body is covered with scales and has fish fangs. Its well-developed brain even emits cold light of pale blue under its translucent skull, like a concrete representation of brain waves. However, its half-human, half-fish appearance did not cause much response from many civilizations. After all, there are countless more peculiar civilizations in the universe, not to mention organic life forms or carbon-based organisms. There are also energy life forms that exist entirely in the form of energy aggregates, so they are not special. In comparison, the countless hieroglyphs that appear in the following video and their solemn and obscure pronunciations are even more amazing. It was like the call and whisper of gods in the vast universe. This is like the whisper of an ancient god. Is this the writing and language of the Deep Ones? When seeing these texts, many civilizations were aroused with great interest. Some people even think that these deep-sea languages have the same origin as the writing of their own civilized ancestors. At this time, new notes also appeared on the screen. As early as 5 million years ago, the technology of the deep diver civilization developed very slowly because the establishment of writing and language is a long and evolving process. In the earliest period, the language of the Deep Ones came from a special gate in an underwater ruin tens of thousands of years ago in their civilization. The Deep Ones called it Arlai. This word, in the deep diver civilization, means primitive, mother race, and root. It also represents the unknown divine realm. It was also through the occasional faint green cold light and the ethereal singing of the gods in this relic that the deep diver civilization evolved its own written language system, constantly improving communication efficiency and simplifying the text, and finally formed the current language structure: 48 basic rhythms, 156 basic characters, and all other characters and languages are constructed on the basis of changing rhythms and text combinations. This also laid the foundation for the subsequent technological development and progress of the deep diver civilization, allowing them to enter a new era, the technological era. These words left many viewers deeply shocked. No wonder they can easily develop such technology. The water drop detector is probably just the tip of the iceberg of their civilization. This civilization was at least 15,000 years ahead of Cybertron. At the same time, new text appears on the screen. Deep Diver Parliament System, also known as the Debater Parliament. The system is that every time there is a need for scientific research, the divers will gather together, listen to the solemn sounds coming from Arlai, and communicate with infrasound. This sound will resonate with the singing in Arlai, and it seems like they are arguing. Until the end, when the rhythm was harmonious and the sound gradually became stronger, forming a melody, it meant that some people in this meeting won and combined their theories with others to form the final result of the parliamentary discussion. This was 5,000 years ahead of the emergence of parliaments among humans. The underwater high-precision computer of the deep diver civilization was also developed based on this principle. The computer algorithm is different from the 1 and 0 codes discovered by humans. Instead, it is driven by sound waves and uses basic rhythms as a means of calculation. It records and refers to the rhythms and tunes used by the previous parliament to make decisions, and deduce and innovate them, which greatly improves the creativity of the deep diver civilization's decision-making. These words shocked many people who were browsing the website. They simply couldn't believe that there was such an incredible civilization in the universe. The computing mechanism they possessed could be said to be quite interesting. As the images change, you can see the underwater supercomputer on the screen emitting different rhythms and sounds from different sound generators. Many civilizations have developed a strong interest in this deep dive civilization. This underwater calculator is a truly ingenious discovery. It's more like a fine and sophisticated musical instrument than an ordinary calculator. This is a truly amazing design. At the same time, new notes appeared on the screen. This underwater calculator has an absolute waterproof system and a stone tablet rubbing function. All decisions that have been made in experimental data records will be written on countless huge stone tablets for future generations of this civilization to refer to. These documents, which are valued and preserved, are the important cornerstones for the continuous development of the deep diver civilization. It is also because of the respect for the wisdom of predecessors that the computer has evolved from an initial computing tool to a highly intelligent AI with independent wisdom and thinking ability, and has absolute rationality. Each calculation can be based on a cause and effect relationship, variable control, and rhythm changes to deduce 1000 most feasible plans and planned results. Because all text and data are rhythmic in text, the process of controlling variables is extremely complex and not prone to errors. It is also because of this that every time the Trisolarans attack other planets, they will perform absolutely rigorous calculations based on the existing data to find the most efficient and feasible plan to conquer the planet. So far, their success rate in conquering different civilizations is 96.84%. These words made many viewers immediately understand why Zhang Bahai wanted to escape. You know, the Trisolarans can increase the success rate of invading civilization to this level based on their own civilization that has been developed for more than 10,000 years. It can be said to be terrifying. At the same time, the audience of the Deep Diver civilization was also surprised that they could actually make it onto the civilization rankings. That kind of pride and surprise made them feel deeply shocked and honored. This is undoubtedly an affirmation of the Deep Diver civilization. However, among the Deep Diver civilization, several of the wisest Deep Diver leaders known as Dagon appeared very solemn. Because they themselves are very clear about their own development strength and level. And now, even with such a brilliant and glorious civilization, ours is only ranked 9th. Then how terrifying would it be if there were beings stronger than me? Thinking of this, the Deep Divers were not happy, but curious about what a being stronger than themselves was like. Could this help them solve hitherto unsolved mysteries of civilization? Uncovering the mystery of our lie? At the same time, they also feel a little apprehensive about their positions being exposed. This means that there is no longer any confidentiality on this website. Once other civilizations conduct in-depth research on themselves, the Deep Diver civilization will be in danger. They also firmly believe in the law of the Dark Forest. However, compared to this, what shocked the Dagons even more was this website actually has a very deep understanding of its own civilization, and even has a thorough understanding of the debaters' conference within its own civilization. Does that mean the other side also knows their armaments and technological strength? What level of technological advancement is required to achieve this? For a moment, they were overwhelmed by the fear that they could see far through this corner of the website, but were instead stared at by countless unknown beings on the other side of the abyss. At this moment, they always felt that in the vast universe, there were advanced civilizations and life forms that they could hardly imagine, looking down on them and laughing at their arrogance. For a moment, the Dagons of the Deep One civilization were talking about it. Our technological level is only ranked 9th. What is the basis for this inventory? Isn't it just a trick? Is there really a more powerful civilization than ours? How powerful would their technology be? How brilliant would their civilization be? The Dagons knew very well that they were ranked 9th after all. In the universe, there are so many ordinary civilizations that are like dust particles that cannot be seen by the naked eye. They are not even qualified to be on the list. And I am just a slightly larger dust particle. However, the morning mushroom does not know the new moon and full moon, and the cicada does not know the spring and autumn. As sparrows, they aspire to be swans, and are also being envied and yearned for by other weak civilizations like cicadas. The appearance of the creatures of the Deep One civilization is quite different from most of the humans on the list. The kind god of death. Come to think of it, it seems that humans are the most numerous on the list. The fantasy powerhouse list and the prehistoric combat power list are mostly humans. Bone King. The rise of humanity. Xiaodou. No, they just transformed into human beings. In fact, their true form is not like this. For example, saints, Hong Wang Daipen. You are not afraid of talking nonsense about saints. Zhang Hulan. Aren't you afraid too? Hong Wang Dapeng. Because the saints and I are not from the same world, there are no saints here. JPG, Zhang Hulan. A Euro the great rock of ancient times. I'm the only clown. 020. That is to say, saints are not from the human race. Xiao He. Of course. Saints are not human. Humans are the race created by Saint Nuwa. Yung Xiao. Nuwa? One of the 7 saints, the one who is particularly beautiful, and the only female among the 7 saints, right? Xiao He. Yes, Saint Nuwa is the mother of the human race. Big Xiao. At Big Xiao, are you human? Spider-Man Parker. No Big Xiao. The ancient world is so strange and weird that I can't understand it, Xiaodou. What's so difficult to understand? In the ancient world, there are countless races. Any race has a chance to survive, and any race has the potential to rise. Kaiyang Xiao. What position does the human race occupy in the ancient world? Xiaodou. The lowest class. Yung Xiao. 0.0. Summer beans. I'm so angry. How could the human race be so weak? I want to restore the reputation of the human race. Xiao He. Watch the video. The technology of the Singer civilization. Amid the discussions on the internet, the video screen gradually changed. A spaceship comes into view. The huge spaceship is even larger than a star-class battleship. At the same time, the narration voice sounded. This is a spaceship from the Singer's mother world. As it passed through the solar system, it dropped a dichroic foil. Two-dimensional foil is a weapon at the level of cosmic laws. The spaceship of the Singer's mother world? Two-dimensional foil? Curious, the video continues. When a spacecraft passes through the solar system, it releases something and throws it into the solar system. It is a rectangular film, 8.5 centimeters long and 5.2 centimeters wide. It is slightly larger than a credit card. It is very thin and you can't see any thickness. In the packaged state, it is crystal clear, colorless, and transparent. It emits a faint white light. Its surface is pure white and looks like a piece of paper. What is the two-dimensional foil? Dongfang Bubai. Universe law-level weapons, sounds like they're very powerful. Xiaodo. Those who are involved in rules must be very powerful. Tony, the richest man. The rules should be similar to the laws of the prehistoric world, right? Hongwang Daipen. Well, it's the same as the laws and powers of the fantasy world. Xiaohe. So the technological power of the Singer civilization is indeed very strong. Indra. I don't know what this two-dimensional foil is used for. The civilizations in the heavens became curious about the two-dimensional foil. Weapons of the cosmic law level. This is a power comparable to the laws of the ancient world. At the same time, as the two-dimensional foil was dropped, the introduction voice sounded. Two-dimensional foil, this weapon is specifically designed to remove weak civilizations hidden in more complex star systems. Therefore, the two-way foil is not a weapon of a higher interstellar civilization, but an efficient cleaning tool. However, its abuse in the universe is greatly accelerating the death of the universe. Three-dimensional space consists of 3 dimensions, up and down, left and right, and front and back. When the two-dimensional foil touches the three-dimensional universe, one of the dimensions will curl up from the macroscopic to the microscopic, forcing the three-dimensional universe and all its matter to collapse into the two-dimensional universe and melt. Since only length and area exist in two-dimensional space, the absolute plane is deprived of the concept of volume. Is the two-dimensional foil so scary? Dr. Octopus. This is a weapon that complies with the laws of the universe. It's normal for it to be a little stronger. Meng Meng. Makes sense, but it's scary to watch. Dr. Octopus. The three-dimensional universe collapses. This is a terrifying thing. Tony, the richest man. Yes, if the three-dimensional space collapses, almost all three-dimensional creatures will die. So, all humans in this solar system will die. Very likely. Hiss, the heavens were shaken. I didn't expect that a two-dimensional foil, which is just called a cleaning tool, would have such terrible power. Is this really a cleaning tool? At this moment, everyone in the world had a new understanding of the strength of technology. The following video made everyone aware of the crisis of Erxiang foil. After discovering the coordinates of the Milky Way, the Song of Songs civilization threw a bidirectional foil into the solar system in 2403. In the same year, most people in the solar system and on Earth were two-dimensionalized and thus perished. The two-way foil that destroyed the solar system should be earlier than the two-way foil left by the Singer civilization. This shows that after the Earth's coordinates were exposed, the solar system had actually been ignited by a large number of alien civilizations, and extinction was only a matter of time. Therefore, the Singer civilization used two-way foil to clean up the Milky Way. The two-dimensional space created by the two-way foil will never stop, and the speed of dimensional collapse will gradually reach the speed of light. However, if we can escape at the speed of light with the help of a curvature engine or other means, it is still possible to escape the fate of two-dimensional space. However, as all the laws of the universe are weaponized and frequently used by unscrupulous interstellar civilizations, the universe itself is gradually disintegrating. The universe and space-time described by superstring theory consists of 10 spatial dimensions and 1 time axis. The existence of multidimensional weapons proves that the high-dimensional universe is heading towards destruction, and the survivors escape to the low-dimensional universe through self-transformation. Today, some powerful three-dimensional civilizations have also begun to actively transform into two-dimensional life in order to continue to survive in the flat world of the two-dimensional universe. Due to the huge gap in scientific and technological levels, only observations and research before the destruction of Earth civilization can touch the essence of the two-way foil until the end. The essence of the two-way foil is just a very small two-dimensional space, and it is also the product of vacuum decay. In the packaged state, the bidirectional foil is bound by a special force field and can be preserved permanently, presenting a crystal clear paper shape. In standby mode, when the packaging force field gradually dissipates, it emits a soft white light, looks like a completely harmless two-dimensional film, and flies to its destination at the speed of light. Hiss, the Milky Way was attacked by so many dimensional weapons just because its coordinates were exposed. Zhanghulan. The technology of the Singer civilization is so advanced. However, there are other more powerful civilizations that are also using dimensional weapons. I'm curious, why would these civilizations throw two-dimensional foil at lower civilizations? Do they simply like to wipe out the weak? Because, the law of the Dark Forest. Luoji. 021. Dark Forest Law? What is that? Big Xiao. Same doubt. Zhang Junbao. The so-called Dark Forest Law is caused by a chain of suspicion. Luoji. Chain of suspicion? Can you explain it in detail? Indra. Cosmic suspicion chain. If two civilizations in the universe discover each other, neither side can determine whether the other is a benevolent civilization. Luoji. It is impossible to assess the goodwill and malice between civilizations because good and evil are not scientifically rigorous, so their meanings need to be limited. Goodwill means not actively attacking and destroying other civilizations, while malice means the opposite. This is the lowest level of goodwill. Roger. One civilization cannot judge whether another civilization is good or bad. One civilization cannot judge whether another civilization considers its own civilization to be a good civilization or an evil civilization. One civilization cannot tell whether another civilization will attack its own civilization. One civilization cannot judge whether another civilization is kind or malicious to itself. One civilization cannot judge whether another civilization considers it good or evil. One civilization cannot judge whether another civilization intends well or ill toward it. For example, the universe is likened to a dark forest, and all civilizations are likened to hunters. Hunters in the dark forest suddenly see a location in the forest with a word on it that all hunters can recognize. If there are 1,000,000 hunters in the forest, 900,000 may ignore the sign. Of the remaining 100,000 hunters, 90,000 may ignore the sign after confirming that there are no living organisms indicating detection and ignoring the location. Then, among the last 10,000 hunters, someone will surely make the choice to shoot at that location, because for a civilization that has developed technology to a certain level, attacking may be less labor-intensive and safer than detecting. If there is really nothing at that location, there will be no loss. Secondly, for low-dimensional universes, the resources in the universe are limited. But civilizations are unlimited. The fastest way to get more resources and improve yourself is to destroy a civilization and seize the resources they have. If your civilization is weak and wants to survive, no matter what information you get from any civilization in the universe, don't answer. Never answer. Because once you answer, you will expose the coordinates of your civilization and you will be attacked by various high-level civilizations. For example, the Milky Way galaxy in the video was attacked by many civilizations. Even if there was no attack from the Singer civilization, other civilizations would still blow up the Milky Way. Logi. Because the coordinates of the Milky Way have been exposed, it has attracted too many hunters. Logi. So why can't we assume that every civilization is kind? Gentleman Sword. Are you willing to believe that a stranger with a gun is a good person? Logi. This rhetorical question directly silenced many civilizations in the heavens and worlds. Yes. Who wants to believe that a stranger with a gun is a good person? Who wants to bet? Winning a bet may be great, but if you lose, you have to pay a painful price. For example, the three-body civilization. Although the three-body civilization was looking for a suitable home for survival, it chose to invade the Earth. But they are not kind. If human civilization had been vigilant from the beginning and had not sent information to the universe casually, or had not replied after receiving information, perhaps the coordinates of the Earth would not have been exposed and mankind would not have been destroyed. Thinking of this, all the civilizations in the heavens and the worlds could not help but tremble. Is this the law of the dark forest? Black. It's so FG black. Marvel Universe. Satellites of Saturn. Over to Titan. On a floating throne, a massive figure sits silently watching the battle on the planet below. The figure has purple skin, a huge vertical chin, a massive body, and is dressed in blue and gold clothing with gold shoulder armor and gold boots, as well as a blue and gold helmet with a gemstone on the forehead. It's called Thanos. It is a product of the Eternal Family. I was just fired many years ago. Thanos is very strong and knows all of Superman's philosophy about the Eternal Family. He is nearly invincible both physically and mentally, possessing unparalleled strength, endurance, toughness, and agility. His skin is virtually indestructible, and is especially resistant to cold, heat, electricity, radiation, poison, aging, and disease. He has a very good physique and can survive without eating anything. Thanos is also nearly invincible mentally, making him immune to most psychic attacks. At the same time, he can use energy waves or release plasma energy or cosmic energy through his eyes and hands. The more invincible he is, the longer term Thanos looks at things. Thanos has been through a lot, so he wants to do something for the universe. It always feels that there are too many creatures in the universe. So there are always wars, constant wars. In the constant wars, many innocent creatures died. Many resources are wasted. Thanos couldn't bear to watch it anymore. He wanted to stop this from happening. Just like the law of the dark forest in the universe. The resources in the universe are limited, but civilization is developing indefinitely. If this growth continues, the universe will lose balance sooner or later and even expand to destruction. Therefore, Thanos believes that in order to maintain the balance of the universe, they must reduce the population. As long as half of the living things in the universe are destroyed, the universe will live longer, resources will be fully utilized, and wars will be greatly reduced. This theory sounds strange, but it is indeed a theory that Thanos is quite recognized by. Thanos once encountered the same situation in the hometown of his goddaughter Gamera. Due to too many people and insufficient resources, it plans to kill half of the population. Later, after killing half of the people, the planet actually turned around again. Although the reason is rather surprising, it must be said that the ultimate goal is correct. Especially after joining the network of all heavens and worlds, Thanos knew that there were countless powerful people in the universe. If the resources of the universe are exhausted, the strong will kill the weak at all costs to occupy more resources. For the weak, it is even worse. Therefore, this is the best way to eliminate half of the creatures and balance the universe. Thanos firmly believes that he must maintain the balance of the universe. He is determined to destroy half of the universe's population. So Thanos went back to Titan and first destroyed half of his race. While deep in thought, Thanos looked at the video content. The pupils shrank slightly. In the video, the moment the two-dimensional foil touched the Milky Way, it was actually slowly collapsing. 022. Super God Universe. Dark Forest Law. He read the discussion in the barge and muttered to himself. This rule applies to weak civilizations. But for the angel civilization that is already at the top of the universe, it does not have much impact. Angel civilization, the most powerful civilization in the universe. The coordinates of the angel civilization had long been exposed, but there was no higher civilization to attack. Prove what? Proves that there is no civilization more powerful than angel civilization in the known universe. No civilization can defeat angel civilization. So Xi's expression didn't change much. Xi's eyes returned to the video. She was stunned. This is... In the video, a voice was heard. When the bidirectional foil approaches its destination, its speed quickly drops to 1/1000th of the speed of light and shows obvious gravitational wave characteristics. Humans on Earth are rapidly exploring the Milky Way. This type of gravitational wave is very strong and usually only comes from huge celestial bodies. Even human scientists can't understand it. The technology gap is too big. Humans cannot detect the mass of the two-way foil, let alone escape from the attack range of the two-way foil. Scientists only know that the two-way foil constrained by the force field is only as big as cardboard. It hides unimaginable energy within itself. As the sound fell, when the bidirectional foil of thin paper reaches the target space, the packaging force field gradually dissipates until it finally disappears. Finally, the weapon is irreversibly fired upon contact with three-dimensional space, curling one dimension in the three-dimensional space from macro to micro, causing the three-dimensional space to collapse, become a two-dimensional flat space and expand. A two-dimensional process is like a giant bubble that keeps expanding. As the bubble expands, the surrounding three-dimensional space itself will gradually be pulled into the bubble, like the mouth of a rapidly expanding waterfall. Surrounding objects are sucked into the fast current before falling into the turbulent water. The waterfall is 360 degrees in all directions, and no angle can escape the fate of being swallowed. If you want to escape from paradise, you must reach escape speed before being swallowed by the waterfall, which is the speed of light. In the video, the spacecraft of the first victims pushed its engines to maximum power in the opposite direction until it reached 15% of the speed of light. They were still shocked to find that they were still slowly falling into the two-dimensional space created by the two-dimensional foil. In the end, they had to watch themselves enter the two-dimensional universe. The gods looked at the scene in shock. All I saw was the spacecraft gradually curling up, becoming flatter and smaller. Gradually it became a painting. A scene similar to a painting. This scene was so earth-shattering that it shocked all the audiences in the heavens and the worlds. Is this the power of the two-dimensional foil? It can actually turn a piece of space into a painting. Dongfang Bubai. Weapons at the level of cosmic laws, so terrifying. Zhang Sanfan. FK. This power, right? It's at least as powerful as an immortal. Zhang Hulan. Can it swallow a galaxy? If my great Qin Empire had such a weapon, Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng. So, the future of technology is very strong. It is definitely not inferior to fantasy and prehistoric times. Tony, the richest man. Humph. What's so great about that? He is far inferior to my son. My son Wang Teng has the qualities to be an emperor. You again. Spider-Man Parker. Are you sure your son can fight against weapons at the level of cosmic laws? Xiaodo. Of course. After my son achieves the throne of the great emperor, he will naturally have such strength. You have underestimated the strength of the great emperor. My son Wang Teng has the qualities to be a great emperor. The emperor is indeed very powerful. But the prerequisite is to become an emperor, not to have the appearance of an emperor. Xiao He. Ha ha ha. I also said that I have the qualities of a saint. Hong Wang Daipen. A Euro Yung Xiao. Can you guys just watch the video quietly? Why are you always arguing about combat power? Because the fantasy combat power is indeed stronger. Bullshit. Hong Wang is obviously stronger. Why do you think science fiction is the strongest now? If the ninth one is so strong, then the top 8 must be invincible. While the battle power of the gods was being debated, the video was also playing. In the Milky Way, all three-dimensional matter involved inevitably becomes two-dimensional, loses many physical properties, and disintegrates after losing the concept of thickness, leaving behind two-dimensional flat fragments with no optical features, only mass. Since 2D objects have no thickness, light will pass directly through them without any reflection. Two-dimensional objects gradually become transparent until they are completely invisible. These plane fragments are not simply flattened, but gradually melt into the object plane design after losing the height axis. In theory, two-dimensional objects can display all the details of the objects themselves and present them in a flat unfolded state without any overlap. This scene shocked the heavens. Even some powerful beings in the fantasy world were amazed by it. This power is terrible. Before, only some spacecraft were rolled up, but now the whole space is rolled up. There are even planets rolled directly into one picture. Such a large planet, when it encounters a bidirectional foil, will be two-dimensionalized and collapse directly. The collapse of three-dimensional space. Finally, the entire Milky Way became a picture on the plane. 023. When a three-dimensional object is forced to melt into a two-dimensional object, a large number of physical characteristics that cannot be directly transferred to the two-dimensional universe are lost and reverted to pure energy. Therefore, when the solar system was two-dimensional, huge amounts of energy were constantly covering the two-dimensional plane, and humans could only observe the fragments on the two-dimensional plane with their naked eyes. Whether it is the two-dimensional human bodies swallowed and distorted by despair, or the two-dimensional sun struggling but dominated by the two-dimensional universe, they are all clearly reflected in the eyes of the fugitives. However, when the two-dimensional transformation is finally completed, the remaining energy of these planar fragments will be completely annihilated in the darkness, becoming a two-dimensional object without thickness and optical properties that cannot be directly observed. On the other hand, as the three-dimensional universe disintegrates, the speed of the two-dimensional collapse continues to increase until it reaches the speed of light in a vacuum. In the three-body universe, the speed of light in a vacuum is considered to be the highest speed in the universe. The existence of multidimensional weapons actually means the destruction of the higher dimensional universe, and ultralight technologies such as wormholes require 4 or more dimensions to be realized. Therefore, it is impossible to develop technologies based on high-dimensional space in the macroscopic world. Therefore, this weapon is an absolutely fatal threat to traditional civilizations that do not master light-speed navigation technology. Once activated, the bidirectional foil cannot be stopped and therefore may cause the user to be trapped in 2 dimensions. A civilization using weapons from this dimension is described as having mastered the technology to transform itself into 2-dimensional life and maintain survival in 2-dimensional space, so it will not be threatened by the 2-dimensional space of the universe. For example, the Singer civilization can survive in 2-dimensional space without having to worry about bidirectional dimensionality reduction. In fact, throughout the universe, many interstellar civilizations frequently use multidimensional weapons. These advanced civilizations are likely to be able to survive in low-dimensional universes or micro-universes, which in turn leads them to abuse such high-dimensional weapons. Even for those who want to destroy the solar system, the two-way foil is only a very basic and economical cleaning tool, and there must be more violent weapons above. The Singers also admitted that they were just the humblest cleaners in this civilized group. The so-called cleaners are no different from the people who clean in ordinary civilizations. When all the civilizations in the heavens saw this, they all understood. FK. The Singer who possesses dimensional weapons is actually just an ordinary cleaner in the Singer civilization? Does that mean there are still many powerful technologies in the Singer civilization? Spider-Man Parker. It must be so. Xiaohei. I'm very curious about what other powerful technologies the Singer civilization has. Although just this two-dimensional foil is enough to prove that their technology crushes the three-body civilization. Because when the Singer two-dimensionalized the Milky Way, the three-body civilization's spaceships did not escape. Xiaodou. It's so terrifying. Yao Chen. Humph, nothing more than that. Lan. That's all? Are you forcing the king again? To be honest, the technology of the Singer civilization is really powerful. Not just ordinary strong. I'm already looking forward to the technological power of the next civilization on the list. There should be other weapons at the level of the universe's laws, right? Let me see them. Could the guy upstairs be a big shot on the fantasy battle power list? The technology of the Singer civilization has once again given the world a new understanding of technological civilization. Weapons of the cosmic law level. This is already a weapon involving advanced laws. Even some powerful people who originally looked down on the power of science and technology now face up to it for the first time. Of course, there are many more who still look down on technology. Like a certain emperor in the movie One Hand Covers the Sky. The 2 Western saints in a certain ancient world. He sneered at the so-called regular level weapons. Law? The strong are the rules. Super God Universe. Keisha frowned slightly when she saw the comments from everyone. There are so many civilizations and powerful people who don't take the weapons of the law of the universe seriously? Is their power greater than that of the Singer civilization? When she thought of this, Keisha's eyebrows twitched slightly. If this is true, then there are too many powerful people hidden in this barrage. Those powerful people who were once on the fantasy and prehistoric lists were dismissive of the technology displayed by the Singer civilization. Perhaps, there might be a more powerful and advanced civilization, watching the video of the Singer civilization, laughing with disdain somewhere. This is very possible. Because after taking stock to this extent, the Singer civilization is only ranked 9th. If an 8th-order Singer civilization has the ability to crush civilizations into 2-dimensional space, how powerful will the civilizations above it be? Dimensionality reduction weapon? Time travel? No matter what shocking technology appears in the future, it will seem to make sense. After all, if the three-body civilization had not been exposed, no one would have thought of the Intelligent Sun project that could block the progress of science and technology. If it weren't for the emergence of the Singer civilization, she would not have realized that there were regular-level cosmic weapons like the two-dimensional foil in the universe. What's even more outrageous is that this weapon is actually just used by the Singer civilization to clean up garbage. When she thought of this, Keisha's body shuddered slightly. These words immediately made her shudder. She originally thought that the Angel civilization was already at the top of the technological civilization. But the technology tree of the three-body civilization alone is not comparable to that of the Angel civilization. The Singer civilization calls itself cleaners, which just means that their Angel civilization is among those high-level civilizations. Is it just a pile of garbage in the universe? Keisha took a deep breath and barely suppressed the shock in her heart. She decided to continue looking at the video. Keisha never sits still, and technology never stands still. At least, she should learn something useful from the video. And just as Keisha was thinking this, her attention was suddenly attracted by a new clue. The whole universe looked over. The list has been updated again. 024. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 8 Edge of the world. When the voice appeared in the minds of everyone in the universe, everyone focused their attention on the next inventory. As a result, the entire universe entered a rare period of peace. And at the same time, Runeland, Valoran continent. The center of the continent separates the Shurima Desert and Valoran, making the two places face each other across the sea. This is the Twin Cities, an important waterway that controls trade between the two places. Zon. This is a city that is almost completely corrupted. Various colors of smoke leaked out from the corroded and aged smoke exhaust pipe network, filtering the light from above into strange colors. Various green processed industrial liquids flow in the sewer ditches, and the foul smell is overwhelming. But here it is bustling with people and just as prosperous and lively as ever. In the eyes of those who call themselves upper city people, this is a place where sewer rats live. This is the bottom city. When the three-body civilization and the Singer civilization filled Hilco's mind. At this moment, the madman had some ideas of his own. Powerful, so powerful. Compared to the glimmer potion that is still being cultivated in the culture tank, the technology of the three-body civilization and the Singer civilization is undoubtedly shocking. Hilco raised one hand and stroked his eyeball which could not move. After a while, he started laughing. Hextech, Glimmer? Our powerful technology is just like other people's toys. How panicked are the people in Upper City now? Hilco calmed down and focused his attention back on the video introduction. Perhaps, this is an opportunity to declare war on the Upper City. At this moment, the entire Rune land. Whether in Piltover or Zon, people are in panic between the two upper cities and the lower cities. Some people think that there will be chaos. The emergence of space technology will deal a serious blow to Piltover's Hextech technology. Some people think that there is no need to worry about all this. Piltover was founded only 200 years ago, and its technological rise only began after the explosion of the Zon Canal. But in just these 200 years, Piltover has emerged from a world of swords and magic in Rune land. Relying on technology, the City of Evolution has established a firm foothold. It's just that we knew about the existence of these technological civilizations in advance, so we just need to continue to develop technology. These technological civilizations can even bring about a faster technological explosion to Piltover and Zon. This is what the older generation of Piltover says, among which Professor Heimerdinger is the most supportive of this theory. Technology is never static. The most important thing is that even if we know that there is a more powerful technological civilization outside the Rune land, Rune land has never been afraid. Because technology has never been the key here. At the same time, in the technologically prosperous upper city, Piltover, Victor locked himself in a room filled with various drawings. If I can use Hextech to modify the human body, I think I can continue to live. He was extremely worried and focused on making various precise calculations on the drawings. Finally, Victor put down the pen in his hand and looked at the records on the drawing. He felt relieved. But with this concept, Hextech doesn't have to be a necessity. The drawing shows a human from the Singer civilization. This human used the two-dimensional foil weapon that appeared in the video introduction at the time to two-dimensionalize a civilization and completely exterminate it. It has to be said that Victor is a genius. He quickly realized that when the Singer civilization used the two-dimensional foil, even if he himself was trapped in 2 dimensions, he would not be threatened by the two-dimensional foil. The two-dimensional foil is bidirectional, and the Singer civilization cannot resist the concept of being two-dimensional. But they managed to solve this problem. It transformed itself into a two-dimensional life form and was able to survive in two-dimensional space. This concept gave Victor an inspiration. Since the Singer civilization can transform itself into a two-dimensional life form, why can't it transform itself into something else? For example, a certain carrier, let this carrier carry my consciousness, and I can travel in the consciousness and shuttle between the carriers at will. Just like one grid point after another, it jumps from the first grid point to the second grid point, and completely entrusts its life to this carrier. If transforming the body is just to turn myself into a machine, then if I can create a group of machines, connect them together through some ability, and my consciousness can travel infinitely among these machines and control them. And these machines can communicate with each other. Even if you are in Demacia, you can communicate with the distant Ionians. Victor picked up the drawing excitedly. Through the faint light, a few gradually transparent words appeared on the drawing. Hex network technology. This will be a great technology that will definitely benefit more people. At this moment, Victor's eyes were full of hope for life. At the same time, the third chapter of the inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe also appeared. Accompanied by this voice. It was as if everyone had the same idea and put down what they were doing at the same time. The Zon people in the bottom city, the Piltover people in the upper city. Only at this moment will the two cities stop arguing. Inventory of science fiction civilizations in the universe, the top 10 most perverted science fiction civilizations. 8 Edge of the world. Reason for being on the list: all the races of the fringe world civilization are inorganic creatures, possess the ability to attack by dimensionality reduction, possess the technological ability to attack the fourth dimension to the third dimension, and their races are more adaptable in the universe. When the third inventory was released, there was an uproar in the universe. The first is the issue of strength that everyone is most concerned about. You know, the appearance of a two-dimensional foil alone is enough to shock people. And the power of the edge world can actually reduce the 4 dimensions by 1. What an amazing technological power this is. Some immortal cultivators from the fantasy world and the primitive world were all shocked by this. And those who have real scientific and technological civilization, or in other words, people who understand science. Their brains were all shocked by the other one. Are all the races of the civilization in the fringe world inorganic creatures? Inorganic organisms? Are all the races in the fringe world made up of stone blocks? In all the heavens and the worlds, is there such a creature? 025. In the universe, countless people followed the video and entered, as if they were there in person, falling into a void universe. Here is a void universe, this is the edge of the universe. The broken star rings were rotating around, and the light of the planet flickered in the darkness, with a few silver-white rays flashing occasionally. This universe is too desolate, with space cracks everywhere. At first glance, it looks like a giant spider web. When the audience in the heavens had become accustomed to seeing too many prosperous civilizations in the universe, they felt a little strange when they saw this scene. What kind of creatures can be born in such a desolate universe? Very quickly, the perspective changes. On a rocky planet in the marginal area, it seems that some strange life form is being born here. Pieces of dark brown stone emerged from the cracks in the ground, and transparent liquid creatures were crawling and wriggling in an unknown manner. They are not living creatures, at least in the eyes of other people, they have nothing to do with living creatures. But they seem to have vitality, enough vitality to drive them to move. In the universe, the omniscient and omnipotent voice also sounded at this moment. 8 Inorganic Civilization, Edge World. The creatures in the Edge World are all inorganic creatures. They can be born from rocks or perhaps in water. They do not need food or water, nor do they need sunlight to grow. Therefore, their adaptability to survive in the universe is extremely strong. The video gives the audience a good introduction to the power of this group of species in the fringe world. They really don't need food or water, all they need to do is keep exercising. This made the audience even more curious. Since this group of inorganic creatures had only just been born, how did they stand out in this vast universe? Soon, the follow-up of the video gave them the answer. Time passed in a flash, as if millions of years had passed. When living things continue to reproduce and grow, they seem to have thoughts. This group of inorganic creatures gathered together, created their own language, and built their own civilization. Then, they continue to survive and reproduce. Until it occupied the entire broken rocky planet. What a spectacular scene it would be if an entire planet was densely populated with organisms made entirely of rock and liquid. The surface of the planet is almost covered by rocks and water, and these creatures have penetrated the planet, and the interior of this entire rocky planet is almost filled with rocks and liquid water. But these things are all living creatures. They have thoughts and consciousness, and do not move solely on instinct. This scene is surprising and shocking. Thanos in the universe watched this simple scene and all the processes. He couldn't help but feel that he was having trouble breathing. This is a kind of magic of life, not a macro experience brought about by the explosion of technology. They don't need water, they don't need sunlight, and they don't consume any resources in the universe. But even such inorganic organisms have extremely strong reproductive capabilities. If Thanos wants to destroy half of all life in the universe, it is for the sake of the universe's consumption. Then, how should he view this group of inorganic creatures? Marginal civilization, inorganic creatures. The universe has really given me a headache. Thanos stood up from his seat, looked at the boundless dark universe, and fell into deep thought for a short while. Thanos' thoughts do not affect the continued playback of the video, even though there are many people in this universe who are amazed at the vitality of this species like him. When the audience was marveling at the fact that inorganic creatures could survive without water and resources, they were even more shocked by what happened next. Soon, that omniscient and omnipotent voice sounded again as the video played. When this group of inorganic creatures occupied the entire planet, they finally realized. A planet made of rock is not enough to support the survival of all their people. So, they thought of expansion. They wanted to occupy the scarce territory of the entire marginal world. But this takes time, inorganic matter needs time to evolve. And they are the ones who have the least shortage of time. Because they are immortal. Inorganic matter has no lifespan. Their lifespan is the same as that of the universe. As this voice sounded, suddenly, everyone in the heavens and the worlds realized it. Such creatures have existed and reproduced for tens of millions of years. Live as long as the sky, immortal. If other people's impression of these inorganic substances is that, apart from the fact that they can survive without support, their other characteristics are simply useless. And now, this group of inorganic beings simply shocked them. Especially among the heavens and myriad worlds, the people in the fantasy, immortal cultivation, and primitive worlds of each world. They almost collectively fell into deep thought. What is the purpose of practicing for a lifetime? Isn't it for the sake of eternal life? The higher the realm, the longer the lifespan will be. This is an obvious truth in every world of cultivation. And now, what do they see? A race, an inorganic race. The life of their entire clan has actually reached the standard of immortality. Lifespan is the same as the universe. In other words, they can survive as long as the universe survives. And they don't need any resources to survive. What a tenacious race this is. How is this possible? Their lifespan is as long as the universe. Indra. Is this the immortality I have always sought? Qin Shi Huang. My generation of monks have practiced for thousands of years in the hope of immortality, but in the end, we are not as good as a race in the universe. My son Wang Teng has the potential to become an emperor. No wonder such a race can be ranked among the top 10 abnormal civilizations. With such a long lifespan, even a pig can become a divine pig. Tony Stark. Although each of them can live forever, but they should be very fragile, right? Because they look like ordinary stones and water. Spider-Man Parker. Yes, the universe is balanced. If they have an immortal lifespan, they shouldn't have more powerful abilities. As the comments grew more and more shocked, the next video slapped them in the face once again. The video changes, and a group of inorganic creatures in the Edge world begin the technological evolution that only they can do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.